Yo, 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 what's good, what's good, what's good? Bum, 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 bada, bum, bum. All right, chat. So today we are going to talk about matchups in a grand scheme of fighting games, like just matchups in general. But I'm gonna use examples from other games, especially when I talk about this game, and talk about like how matchups play out in fighting games and why like generally like fighting games have like a matchup. There is no matchup that's like just set in stone. Like you can have a different opinion on a matchup, right? Now, general audience might find a matchup a certain way, but it's okay to have that other opinion on a matchup, right? So I don't see like it being a bad thing that multiple people have different like opinions on matchups or something like that. Like I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that when we talk about fighting games in general, it's good to have like your own opinion, and no matter how long you've been playing a game, because no matter how long you've been playing a game, that part matters only at a certain level, I would say. At most levels, that's still not gonna matter. Like at most levels, that's not gonna matter. As long as you're like a high level player, you can come to like a realization of a matchup. Like I don't think a Kain player would be like, "Hey, Kain beats Hotaru." You know what I'm saying? Like a high level player would see that Hotaru has an advantage over that character for the obvious reason, right? And I think that that's like super important. It's super important when you're like looking to talk about a matchup. Because people, I think people get into this boat where they think that matchups are like super concrete. Like they're like a matchup cannot change, or the matchup itself is like set in stone and nothing you say can make them think otherwise, right? No matter how long a game has been out, there's still stuff to like discover. In general, right? There's a lot of things to discover. I mean, games are like endless. Like no game really has like where it's just over. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, this matchup is like this. Like people still figuring out Tekken ST. You see what I mean? So it's like if a player is still figuring out Tekken ST, then anything is like possible in any fighting game, right? And I think that's important that people open up their minds a little bit. Because enough people don't open up their minds in the grand scheme of things to think about games a little deeper, and for it not to be so like, oh, this is how this game works. Oh, okay, like this is it. Like, nah, like you have to be able to like think of games way, way deeper. And I think that that's what's lacking from a lot of fighting games now, is that art where people are able to think for themselves and just like, they don't have to like, you know, wait for like this player to say what they think about the game. Like they can actually like formulate their own opinion on the game and be like, oh, okay, well, this is how this works. Okay, so because this is how this works, this is my opinion. What is your opinion? Come to the table with good like with good observations, right? You come to the table with good observations. You don't come to the table like, oh, this is that, and it's over. Like, I don't want to talk about the matchup anymore. You can't do that. At that point, it's a one-way, right? And we don't like one-ways. You never want something to be one-way. One way is bad. One way is super bad. So I think it's super important for people as a community. I think roundtables are like really good. Like when people do like roundtable stuff, it's good. I'm kind of in agreement with Kenzo on that, like how roundtables can get messy, because if you have people that think that they know it all or their ego is too inflated, then you will have a situation where anything that you say to them will go in one ear and out the other, so it won't matter what they're actually talking about, right? Like that part won't matter. The only thing that'll matter is what they're saying. They want you to listen to their point. They want you to listen to their point, like really, like thoroughly. But when it comes to the opposite, they don't want to listen to your point. So you have to be very, very, very careful with that. I feel like, because it's a lot of things about fighting games that can hold you back. It's a lot of things about fighting games that can hold you back in the grand scheme of things that you don't even like notice can hold you back. Like a lot of people get held back by mostly things that they really can't see, and they think that they're good, or they think that they're a lot better than what they are. And like, that's dangerous. That's super dangerous. It's super bad to fall into that category too. It's like super bad to fall into that category. In which I think a lot of people do fall into that category. Like, I don't know if they do it intentionally or what, but they do it a lot. So with that being said, I have a couple of thoughts on some of the matchups in this game, specifically this one and this character. So these two characters specifically. So I've spoke to a couple sources about this matchup. And I wanted to do this on stream because it's a lot easier to see a visual than me like typing through message, right? It's like super easy for me to talk about it on stream versus like texting about it, right? All right, so like I said before, I have spoke to a couple sources about this matchup because it got brought to my attention that some parties think that Yashimaru beats Iroha, right? And some parties think it's even. I'm kind of more in that boat where I never, out of my mouth, I never said that she actually beats him. I said it's anti. And anti does not mean that the character necessarily beats that character. That means that the character counters something about that character specifically. And as a player, if you want to counter somebody, it's usually like a tool that the character counters, right? So, for example, I would give those, especially a lot of y'all follow me for City of the Wolves. Hotaru is anti-Kain, but she actually does beat Kain too. Like, she's anti, but she beats Kain. Marco versus Hotaru is in Hotaru's favor, but when Marco gets one bar, Marco is anti-Hotaru. She cannot shoot a fireball anymore, and she relies heavily on shooting fireballs. So, and then the matchup changes to more like a 50-50 matchup in that situation. So my point is when you're breaking down a matchup chat, it's more about pinpoints in the match. What are these characters' tools versus this character's tools? Like, how do the tools match up? So when these two characters get on the screen, how do they match up? That is how a matchup works. Like, you break down their tool set versus this tool set. Now, whose tool set wins, or do they cancel each other out and the matchup is even? That is how a matchup should be decided. That is how a matchup should be looked at. Like, it'll always be looked at like that. Like, a matchup will always be looked at like that specifically. It'll never be looked at any deeper than that. So, with that being said, I gave y'all an example of that. Now I give you an example in this game. So, this character, some people think that Yashimaru wins the matchup, right? Now, I'm going to tell y'all like this. Iroha, I started playing her mostly for him, but then I do like her playstyle. Is she my main character? No. She's just one of the characters I like to pick. But I started picking her because when I fight Yashimaru, for anybody that's very similar with Hoku to Maru, both characters have double jump. And you can semi-stall because you can double jump again. So if I jump, I shoot a projectile, I jump again, and now I'm on the ground. You see what I mean? So I could essentially like stall. I could shoot double sword. It's hella unsafe, but you know, it's an option. Anytime a character has a double jump, they're like super mobile and generally super annoying. So when you look at his air normals, JA hits at an angle, JB hits at a higher angle, more horizontal, and then you have JC, which hits at a downward angle, right? Then of course you got a jump kick. So you already see his tools. You see what he's working with in the air. He does have other options in the air that he can do that are unsafe, but he has those options. You know, an option is an option, no matter if it's safe or unsafe. So he has those options. Iroha, for anybody that's not familiar with her, also has a double jump. So both of these characters are super mobile. Now, difference is he can run, she cannot. She has a hop. So if y'all are familiar with any character like a Morgan or a Eno or something like that, where they can't run across the screen, right? But the difference between Eno and Morgan is when they do a dash, they're airborne and they can actually like come down with a button and attack you from the air. Right? With Iroha, when she dashes, she's counted in the air. Because if you shoot a fireball, if you shoot a low fireball, like a lower projectile, she can jump over it because she is technically airborne. But she's not technically like, you know, like a Eno or Morgan because she's not coming out with a button on top of your head. You know what I'm saying? She is airborne, but only for a couple frames. So with that being said, the movement is going to be different. The movement is going to be highly different when you compare these characters on the ground. So then you look at normals. Her normals aren't really bad at boxing at a mid-range or keeping somebody from running at you. Her normals aren't too bad at a mid-range for keeping somebody like from running at you. Like, so she got some good checky normals. Like her normals are pretty good to check somebody. And then her stand C is unique just because she flies at you. It has a lot of range, etc., etc. Yashimaru has one of the best B normals in the game because of the range. Range alone, he can box you out from a far distance, right? And this is to show people also how to just break down a matchup. It doesn't matter what game it is. If you follow this recipe for breaking down a matchup, you'll be able to like break down matchups and like just understand games in general, right? So with that being said, he has a very far normal. So the first thing I do, I go to the lab and I test, can I whiff punish this normal? Like if he presses it, can I whiff punish it? Can I hit it, right? And off jump, you see from a distance, you can actually tag the hurt box of it, right? So if I'm at a distance, if I'm at this distance and he presses that shit, I can tag his hurt box every time. Now, is that reliable? Yes, because no matter what, Yashimaru is going to be using this normal. So if I place myself outside of range of the normal, I can hit that shit. In a real match, if you are at this range, you know he wants to press it. So you should be trying to press it. Like, you should be trying to hit it. If you can fix your reaction time, you can actually hit it on reaction. You can see it whiff and then hit it. Now, if you miss, that is your reaction time. Straight up. But if you're, like, looking for it and you see it, and the moment you press the button, bam, you get a huge whip punish, right? I never tested if you could sweep it. Yeah, you can actually sweep it, too. Which is actually way easier to do than even to stand see it, because you can sweep it like right outside of like this range, right around here. You can actually tag his foot. So both of these are like pretty solid answers outside of range. On top of you can jump. Now, with that being said, with the whole jumping factor, like anytime a character has a double jump, they alter your anti-airs automatically. Now, Yasha's main anti-air is his close C. So if you jump at him and he close C's you, so it's going to look something like this. This is his main anti-air. Let me get close C. Oh my god, I'm not even double jumping. That's the worst part about that. That's going to be his main anti-air. Like that. It's going to look something like that. With her, she has a double jump. So that'll never happen to her, because she can always double jump you. So because of that, anytime a character has a double jump, it's going to always be harder to anti-air the character, because if you try to like, you know, if I try to DP, look at that. It just whipped. because of the double jump back. It's a bait. So knowing that a character can like bait you with a double jump is always going to be a factor. That's a factor in every single game, especially in City of the Wolves with Hokutomaru, the way he jumps. Same concept. It's going to be annoying, right? So you have to mostly go air to air with people that do that, or dash under them when they do that. Because if you go air to air with them, that's an option. But of course, they can press a button early or late. Or you just dash under them and get offense under them, right? So that's always going to be an option for both characters. Both characters are going to evenly be able to do that. Like, that is like an even sequence that's going to happen. Now, back to the ground game. Like I said, his main button of choice is going to be that. And like I've already showed, you can whiff punish that shit on reaction. Every time. Like, you could definitely hit those. On top of deflect is always an answer. So, you know, that's always going to be an answer. Like, no matter what. No matter what. That's always going to be an answer. If you do this, you can always get something. It's going to be a guess, but it doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't do that. Always going to be a guess, but it's always an answer, right? Yo, Des, what's good? So, I'm going over this matchup because I've had multiple parties say it's even, it's in his favor, etc., etc. Do I mainly roll? No, I don't. I do know how to play her. I play her in this matchup specifically. I like the matchup, me personally. But I do know how to play her. But is she one of my main characters? Nah, she's one of my swap offs. But I did want to break this matchup down on stream because, like I said, I've had a couple people ask me about it, my thoughts on it, etc., etc. So I'm just here to put my thoughts on it. I'm here to put my thoughts on it, and then I'll basically leave it at that. And that's kind of, yo, Dabai, thank you for that follow. So that's kind of like what I'm gonna just speak on. It's how, like, and this is just a general formula to how to break down matchups in general. For any game, like this same formula works for every single game. So while a person might be like, Nash, how can you talk about a matchup in this game when you've only been playing it for a month and some change? Well, easy, because when you play multiple fighting games, the recipe is the same. There's a reason why when I play a fighting game, I catch on quick. It's because the recipe is the exact same for every fighting game. So it doesn't matter if it's Samurai Showdown, Dragon Ball Fighters, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Blaze Blue, it doesn't matter. Whatever game, you can still apply the same recipe to every single game and like dissect the game immediately. So like that's the very like super important part about fighting games is understanding that. So, with that being said, that's going to be his main button. His main button is a ranged poke that in theory would keep her out if she's trying to dash at him and play like super aggressive. But that's not her playstyle. She doesn't play like that. For one, that's a grounded button. So if she jumps that button, she's going to get a lot of damage. So he's always going to have to be worried about the jump. On top of she does have a double jump. So he's always going to have to be worried about that no matter what. That's always going to be a factor, right? On top of, she has Fireball. Now, the thing about Fireball, a lot of people have this, they have this confusion in this game that Fireballs are bad because you can JD, right? You can JD, you can get your rage up, etc., etc. Like, that's the mindset going behind the Fireball is not good because you could just sit there and JD all day and get rage. Well, it takes 10 JDs to get rage. I quote, it takes 10 JDs to get rage. A person will have to JD 10 of your fireballs or 10 of your normals or whatever to get that rage. If she shoots 10 fireballs and you JD each and every one of them, you will get rage at the 10th one. So, because you know this, right? If I'm running and I shoot this, I'm running and he JD's, right? And I'm still running. I shoot another one. Okay, so he's JDing. I see what type of defensive plays he's making right now because he is just JDing projectiles, right? If he's JDing projectiles, that means that you are not fighting. You are not pressing buttons. You are blocking, meaning you are blocking to JD projectile. So if she's doing this, you are JDing. Meaning you are not interacting, you are running, you are playing defensive, you are down backing to wait on these projectiles and JD. Meaning that you are sitting in probably one spot or you are walking back. Meaning you are giving up space or you are sitting still for the opponent to dash up to you and put pressure on you and apply pressure. On top of a character having a double jump. So with that being said, if she's shooting projectiles, that does not mean anything. Like, that means that you still have to respect the projectile because she could literally just close the space anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, she could just close the space. And when she closes the space, she has options to hit you. Like, straight up. So, with that being said, because the fireball is still a threat, if he moves, he's in an obstacle course no matter what. If you fight Haomaru, you do not have to worry about a fireball up here. You do not have to worry about a fireball right here. This shit is like Super Mario Brothers 3. Bowser at the end shooting projectiles and they are at different angles. Like, you are literally having to worry about different angles. Meaning that this play style of him just bunny hopping around and jumping around does not work. Because he's going to run into some projectile while he is up here. If I'm just shooting projectiles, he's going to get hit by something. And that's just going to be free damage. Now, is it a lot of damage? No. All damage adds up in a game, especially in a game like this. In a game like this, all damage adds up 1,020%. So, knowing that he cannot move around like that, if you are a smart player, you're not going to be moving around like that. Point blank, period. Because you're going to get hit by something. You're going to get hit by something. Guaranteed. And you're just going to start taking excess damage. And then you're going to be chasing her. And you're going to be losing more life. Like, no matter what. Now, the next thing a person would probably say. Oh, well, he can just run on the ground. So he can just close the gap once you jump up and shoot a fireball. Correct. But there's one fireball that he cannot run at. This fireball. Now, a person could say, okay, why don't you just car it? The reason I don't car it, because of this. If you do Tiger Knee Fireball, look at this interaction, chat. Look at this interaction. I'm going to show you something. Look at this interaction. If I do this, look at that. Those are two different projectiles. One is still being able, he can still JD from a crouch. One is like a Mortal Kombat-esque fireball where you cannot run on the screen. Right there, he cannot run. Tiger Knee Fireball, he's not going to be able to run at this angle because he's too tall. Like, if he runs, he's going to run into a projectile. That automatically locks his movement. Automatically locks the movement. You cannot move right there. And he can't JD. The only way for him to JD is he has to stand up. If he stands up, then guess what? Guess what that means? Like, if he stands up and I do this projectile and he stands up, what does that mean? You automatically allow her to get in on you. Like, it doesn't matter that you're getting your rage. You allow her to get in on you. Like, she's getting in on you for the free ski. So it doesn't matter that you're walking back and the proxy guard is going to catch you and she's going to catch up to you. So at any point in time, she can press you because she can always get to you because you can't move and you can't run. When she shoots that fireball, when she shoots the TK, you cannot run. If you try to run, you're going to get hit. Just like that. Can't do it. So with that being said, he can't move on the ground comfortably without running into damage. He would have to JD. Like, that would be his only answer, is to JD. Because he can't run. Now, the next thing a person would say, oh, well, he has air sword. Okay. First and foremost, with air sword, right? That wasn't a fireball. I'm going to show y'all something about that, too. First and foremost, you'll knock her out the air. You're not going to hit her grounded at best. And that was me doing this version of the fireball. If I do TK fireball, as you saw, that shit is not hitting her. It would be a different timing. So her timings are so thrown off that you can't even hit her the same timing. And then he has a double jump option. He has that. But guess what? Like, none of that you have to do. None of it you have to do. Because guess what? She has a double jump. So at any point in time, she can just jump over the projectile from back here. And guess what she can do off of that double jump? She can still fireball. So no matter what, if you do that, he's in trouble. Because even if he double jumps, he's going to get hit. And even if he does avoid it, I've been on the ground for 1,000,000 years. I'm on the ground for 1,000,000 years. I can actually press that. So it doesn't even matter if he does avoid it. Because at this point, he's still at a disadvantage. He can't hit me from this range. I can actually hit him. Because even right there, if he jumps forward, that's a free uppercut. He would have to do a special move. And it's locking him on the screen. Meaning that at no point does this character have an advantage at neutral. Like, he does not have the advantage at neutral. He does not. At no point in that match in the air does he have advantage in neutral. His angle is not. She literally can cover a horizontal angle. He cannot. His fireball goes at a downward angle. He cannot cover that angle. At all. So, in the grand scheme of things, in the air, if we talk about aerial approach, she wins the aerial approach. On top of having air-to-air buttons. Like, she can still air-to-air you. So they can both, I feel like, yeah, this matchup was pretty bad for him. I would say this. I would say, because I'm getting to the parts that benefit him more. But, because most people, like I said, I won't even say most. Some people think it's even. Some people think that it's Yashimaru's favorite, right? I'm here to say, I believe it's even. I believe it's more so an even matchup. Because I'm going to get to the parts where he can like bang in the match, right? Which, from an air-to-air perspective, if we're talking about air-to-air buttons, both characters are generally like the same in the air. Especially because his H does a lot of damage. As you see, that shit does 210. Like, if he hits you, that shit does 210. And if she hits you with her H, it only does 140. So in an air-to-air situation, if he jumps up with H and you jump at him, you eat 210. And if you hit him, you only hit him for 151, and that was on counter hit. So in the air-to-air situation, the air-to-air space, like that did 106. And that did 111. So in the air-to-air space, and he's going to do slightly more damage every time, especially with the H. Like, the H definitely is like, definitely more damage. Because like I said, that's 227. And mine, like right there, is like, counter hit is 151. So in the air-to-air space, his damage is going to out-damage her in the air-to-air spacing. But that doesn't mean that, oh my god, he wins the air-to-air game. No. Because at the end of the day, she can still hit him. Like, she can still hit him out the air. And she can still put him in situations out the air. But If they jump in the air and he just so happens to press his button first, he's gonna output more damage than her, which is fine. So that is a benefit in the match. Does that make the match, oh my god, it's in his favor because he does more damage? No. That's not how matchups work. Matchups will never work like that. It's very rare cases where that's the case, where a character out damages a character, and that's going to be the way the matchup works. That's going to be a very, very, very rare case where it's like that. Like super rare. In this case, it's not the case. it's just not. Like, he does do more damage than her. Like, if he catches you with like raw hits, he does do more damage than her. If we talk about raw hits, I'm talking about like if he catches you with that, that's 315, correct? If she catches you, that's 250. Yo, what's good, B-boy? If anything, you can B-boy, you might have to watch the VOD back. But basically what I went over so far, I went over like the air game. I just went over the air game. I went over like the ground game. The aerial game, what I said is he definitely out damages her because like a move like this, that's 210, right? So he's hitting her for 210 right there. She's hitting him for 168. So basically the damage output is going to always be different in the air between the two characters. So Yashimaru is definitely going to output more damage in the air and on the ground than her. Because like I said, if a raw stand C hits you, that's 315. If her raw stand C hits you, that's 250. So the damage output is in his favor, 1000%. From a throw, the damage output will be in her favor. From a B&B throw, because she does 180 and he does 168. So from a throw, from a tick throw perspective, she's gonna win that exchange. Now if he has rage, he's gonna of course do a lot of damage in rage, like 1000%. His rage goes crazy. So now what we do, we look at the rage. So that did 272, right? 259. So in rage, he outdamages her with the throw. But base, she wins that, right? So let me turn off those. Now, generally, he's just an all-around scary character in rage. Right, exactly. Because he has a lot of ways. Like, if he hits you with sword toss, he gets, like, 1,000,000 damage. Like, that's something you don't want to get hit by. Right. He's gonna be in rage, and he's gonna output some damage or hit you with something that's gonna make you, like, second-guess yourself. Now, when we talk about, like, if we want to go to weapon flip, her weapon flip is way better than his because his weapon flip is not practical from combos. Her weapon flip is actually practical from combos, and she has straight unbreakable, unburstable shit. Like, you cannot break this. Like, if she does this shoulder, chat, for anybody that's not familiar with the game, if she does this shoulder and goes into weapon flip, you cannot burst that shit. You are launched. You are 1000% hit, guaranteed. So, with that being said, what am I about to do? Oh yeah, rage. So, with that being said, for any reason, if she whiff punishes you, you're hit. You're hit. He does not have this luxury because of the way he works. He does not have this luxury. So, chat, anybody that doesn't know about his, this is his. Good chip, but he cannot combo into it. Maybe there's a practical way off of something. Right. Yeah, exactly. He's not a character that's gonna rely on trying to use. his weapon flip technique. He's just going to use his rage and get damage off the rage, because he's going to get more value doing damage off the rage than trying to hit you with a weapon flip. It's just not going to work. She gets more value off of the weapon flip because, like I said, it's literally unbreakable, unburstable if she hits you with the shoulder. So if she ever does throw you, you're probably going to break it because she gets shoulder guaranteed off the throw. So you're probably going to burst during the throw. Because if you get launched, you can't. It's nothing you can do about it. So I think that that's one like really good thing about them. Yo, Fox, thank you for that follow. I think that that's one thing about them that does factor into the match. But his SSM is better than hers, and her SSM pretty much sucks. Because it's literally a no range grab. Like, it just doesn't work. So you would have to get a very like a close range deflect to get it. Because other than that, of course, you can jump out. Like, it's just not a good SSM compared to, like, a Yashimaru, who is going to hit his if he deflects you. Which is really good. So, when it comes down to the factor of, like, their mechanics in the game, because what this game reminds me of, chat, this game reminds me of the Dead or Alive series. And why it reminds me of Dead or Alive so much is because there's a lot... Yo, Yellowman, thank you for that follow. There's a lot of RPS in the game, and there's also a lot of system mechanics that work for every character. Like, every character can deflect. Every character has a deflect. Which, when you deflect something, it puts you in a situation. Like, if he does this, and I deflect, I can do that, right? It puts you in a situation. Just like if he deflects me. Now, some characters, when deflected, can fight better than other characters. Some characters fight very well without their weapon. Iroha fights terrible without her weapon. Like, she's terrible without her weapon. She needs that weapon. So if she gets deflected, it could be the end of the world. The only move that she can really knock you down is her 3K. Like, 3D is like the only way she's really going to get a knockdown to knock you down, because she doesn't have dash and normals. So it could be the end of the world if she gets deflected, right? But when you think about mechanics, and this is going back to what I said about Dead or Alive, when every character has like a base mechanic that's powerful or that's good, like hold in DOA, you can hold normals. Like, if somebody does a high, you can hold it. If they do a mid kick, you can hold it. In this game, similar... When somebody commits, if somebody commits to a button with their weapon and you deflect it, you're gonna get some type of damage unless they want to burst. What's Oki like in this game? The Oki in this game, there's 3 different types of wake up. There's roll backwards, roll forward, and neutral tech. So you have to read rolls more so in this game versus like Oki exists. And there's characters that have like really good, like, you know, set play Oki. But in general, this game is more about reading a person's wake up, because jumps are like frame 1 in this game. So I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you this. So reversal, right? I'm gonna make him reversal jump. So he's gonna jump every time he hits the ground, right? Like, every time he gets hit, he's gonna jump. Let me turn max rage off. Okay. So, knowing that, he's going to jump every time, right? You see that. So, if I ran up to him and I try to go for a low, it's never going to work. It's not going to work. It's not physically possible because the jump frames are so fast in this game. It's a 1 frame jump. So, unless your low has an upwards hitbox, which I'm going to show you in a minute, unless your low has an upwards hitbox, you're not going to be able to meaty them off the floor with a low. Nakaruru has a very good running 6-6D that she can meaty people with because it has an upwards hitbox. Like, it has a huge hitbox that can hit somebody's jump startup. Ukyo is another one that has a very good 3D because the hitbox on it is bigger. And it's like an upwards hitbox. If you have an upwards hitbox, then you can actually hit a jump startup. But if you do not, you're not meeting somebody with like a crouching kick. Rise around, position yourself to cover a full roll, make people corner themselves with back roll. Unless you play a fast dash game, you meet with dash, attack, cross and stuff. Yep. So when it comes down to it, median, you would probably choose more so like an actual like mid button, just so you know that it's gonna hit, because it will hit them for holding up. You would choose like a mid button or something like powerful, even like a stand C if your character has a very like pretty good stand C to just throw out, because then you would play the mind game of, if I'm gonna deflect, am I gonna do a super after? So depending on how good your character's like, and for example like Halmaru, I might just BDC you, because if I feel like you're gonna hold up and I don't want to even play the mind game, I just might BDC you, because even if I BDC you, then I can still play the mind game of deflect, or I can do his quarter circle back kick. So I can still play a mind game. It's a mind game. Or I can uppercut. Like little things like that. Like that's basically how this game works. So when it comes down to Oki, you're always kind of like guessing, but you can force things, right? So with her, she has a cross up, right? She has this cross up blade that if you read the roll, so like if I feel like he was gonna roll back, right? I try to backdash, or I just wait right here, bam, I hit him again, right? So the thing that he's gonna have to do is mix up his roll. He's gonna have to mix up his roll or neutral tech. Appreciate it, B-boy. Appreciate you for coming through too. So he's gonna have to neutral tech. Neutral tech has like, you know how like City of the Wolves or games like that, they have the throw protection. When you neutral tech, you have throw protection. If you're rolling, your throw protection is gone. You don't have that throw protection. That same throw protection that you had when you rolled, I mean, the same throw protection that you have like when you neutral tech, you don't have that when you roll. So when you roll, you could just get rethrown. Like somebody could throw your roll. They're not throwing the roll in the middle of the roll, but after, like, you don't have that throw protection. So that's like the biggest difference between like the characters of like how Oki works. So hopefully that explained that, like how like the Oki works in this game. It's pretty fun though, once you, especially depending on your character. And let me show you, I'm gonna show you really fast what low I'm talking about, like what lows you can actually meet, because I showed you cannot meet a character with like just a staple like 2D. Like if you do 2D, you can't. But if you have a upwards hitbox low, you can. And Nakaruru has one. That's why like her pressure is really, really good. So let's say I do this with knock, and then I jump. You see how that hit? Now, if I did that same, if I tried to do that, it's not going to hit. But because her, you see how her boot is like upwards, it still hits because it's active. It's active in the hitbox on her. So if you do it meaty, it'll always hit like that. So you can't hold up. Like holding up against her, you're just going to eat free damage. Like point blank period. You're just going to eat free damage over and over and over and over and over. And it's like the same for Ukyo. Ukyo can meaty you with his, and it's going to hit every single time because it's the hitbox. And I'll show you an example of that. I like to show my chat examples, so when they see it, they're like, okay, this is how this game works, so now I understand completely. Versus a person talking about it. It's very easy for a person to talk about something and not show it, and then your chat is still like, oh, okay, I don't understand. Versus, oh, damn, okay, so if my chat wanted to pick up this game tomorrow, they would know how to automatically meaty, because I had to learn that off jump. I was like, bro, why can I not meaty with lows? And then I had to understand the mechanic of the game, and then I was able to meet. Like, it's like super simple like that. So same thing with Ukyo, right? So she's on jump, right? So I'm gonna do this. Every time. Look at his. So you see kind of like the upwards part of his foot. that catches jump start up. So because you can still catch jump start up, if I do this, this is auto timed. It's nothing you can do about that beyond tag back or neutral tag. Because if you block that sweep, it's like super like safer because it's hitting meaty. It's hitting like super omega meaty. So like even if I put her on like I put her on stand jab right there, so she's gonna stand jab me every single time. As you see, it's gonna be a reversal jab. So even if I do this, hold up, I gotta put it on a reversal block. Yeah, guard. Okay, I gotta make her crouch. Guard all bit. Okay. So I'm gonna show y'all an example like this. Boom, boom, boom. You see that? It's complete meaty, and it becomes a lot safer because it's hitting meaty. Like right there. So this time I'm gonna make her crouch A. So the crouch A is on reversal now, so she's gonna crouch A every single time. Safe. So now I'm gonna try to make her dash attack. Yeah, I made her dash attack frame 1. So as you see, regular is a punish every time because her dash attack is like 4 frames, right? So now I'm gonna show this. Boom, boom, boom. Safe. Because that's auto time. And that's why I tell my chat, auto times are super important because that forward jump to backdash to 3D is gonna always hit meaty. It's nothing your opponent can do about that beyond neutral tag or stay back or back roll. Like that's all they can do because them putting themselves in that forward roll is gonna put them in a mix up. Completely, it's gonna put them in a really bad mix up. And then if they jump, he could just do a tiger knee Subame. So it's like if you jump, you're gonna get hit. So that situation right there is like one of those mind games of you have to like understand that your opponent's probably not going to be teching forward because teching forward would not be smart right there. And if they do tech forward, you could rethrow them because they're probably going to tech and they're going to think you're going to sweep or they're going to think you're going to Subame overhead and then they get rethrown. That's how the game works. Because even if you were to dodge, if you were to try to dodge, you're going to get hit. It's not going to matter. It's not gonna matter at all. So I think layers like an onion for real. What's good now? So back to the matchup at hand, and then I'm gonna talk about some more matchups. Chat. I just want to put my last 2 cents on this matchup, and then I'm gonna talk about some more matchups in the game. And if anybody's down to play, like I'm definitely down to play. If y'all want to play like a little 1st to 5, 1st to 10, or whatever, I'm definitely down to play. I don't mind. All right, so last couple notes on this matchup. The main thing about this matchup to note, Yashimaru does outdamage her. 1000%. Yashimaru outdamages her and he outranges her. But his his like best, I would say, move that he's going to outrange her with is 5B. And 5B can literally, you can hit his hurt box and knock him down. If she gets that life lead, she can definitely run with it. And he's going to have to go through an obstacle course. He can JD those, but the problem is he's still having to chase you. And when you chase anybody in any fighting game, you run the risk of taking damage. God, I love this game. I haven't played in almost a year, but this was my favorite fighting game for a very long time. What's up, Checkmate? Yeah, this game is really good. It's really good, and I try to revive it on my channel. Like, honestly, like I'm trying to get ready for SWC for the game, but I've been trying to revive it on my channel. Like, if anybody has the game on if anybody has the game on Steam, I'm always down to grind and play. I'm looking for a solid group of players to play. I do have, a training partner for the game, but I'm also looking for multiple training partners. Even if people are trying to learn the game, I'm willing to play you. Like, we can get better together. That is how two people level up. One player that knows the game and another player that's saying, hey, Nash, I want to learn this game. Can I hit you up? Bet. Let's get on a call. Let's get on a Discord call. We can talk about it. Then you start getting nice. Then you start helping me. And we both level up at the same time. That's what people do. From JDing in this game, you get rage meter. So when somebody JDs a projectile, they get their rage meter. It takes 10 projectiles to get your rage meter all the way up. So right now, look at where his rage meter is at. Boom, boom, boom. One more. Now he's in rage. So JDing gives you that, and you can guard cancel. So if I jump, you see how she guard canceled? If he jumped a little higher and pressed that button, like right there. Oops. Oh my god. I'll just do it like this. You can guard cancel and just reset neutral. So that's like really good. Being forced to chase it so lame, it's like the ultimate strategy. Yeah, especially in a lot of games, it can be like it can either be a very dangerous and good strategy or a very bad strategy. Depends on the fighting game, because zoning has been kind of nerfed in a lot of fighting games lately. But it's like, it definitely depends on the fighting game now if it's going to be good. Working from home next month. Can't wait to be able to play some games in my downtime. Hell yeah. Now I'm going to boot up this weekend. Nice checkmate. Yeah, this game is fire. Like I said, I try to educate my stream and just put them on game. Like, this is a good game. And, like, the notion that a game is dead or this, that, and the third. So I'm going to tell y'all something. Listen to me very closely, chat. Tell your friends I had this message for them, too. There's no such thing as a dead game. And this is the reason why I'll actually state that no game is dead. Imagine, chat, so for one, this game has a Discord full of 1,000+ players, right? But for two, not everybody's playing this game. But imagine this game. I'm gonna tell y'all something about this game specifically. Imagine there's 60 people. 60 actively playing this game on Steam, like 60 people. Imagine if all of them had open lobbies open the whole day and you could just go to player match, because the ranked is it's like glitched. It can like count you as a rage quitter or something like that. It's something weird that they never fix. So that part's on them. But imagine player match. Imagine all 60 people that are loading this game up, load up player match every day and have open lobbies open all day. All 60 of those players, it would be considered an active game because you can get matches all day in player match. The problem is not all the players are not queuing up to play the game. That is the problem. In Melty Blood, if Melty Blood has 40 people right now actively playing in NA, and all of those players queue up in ranked and player match, the game is active because I can go to ranked match. Oh, I got a match. Let's get it. I play. Bam. Oh, I got somebody else. Bam. I play. Damn, I got somebody else. And you run into like 5 to 6 different people. That's not a dead game. The thing that creates a game being quote unquote dead is when people don't actually queue up the game to play. That's why when people say that like City of the Wolves is dead, they're tripping, because every time I queue up to rank, I'm getting matches nonstop. I'm getting matches in different people nonstop. That's not a dead game. I don't care if the Steam charts say it's only 100 people online. That's not a dead game. That's not a dead game. If I can queue up in ranked and player match, the game is not dead. Now, if you queue up in ranked in this game, you're not going to get a match. If you queue up in player match, you're not going to get a match. That is a created dead game. There's a difference. It was created. The players created that. Because if the players don't ever want that to happen, all you have to do is queue up. All you have to do is queue up. If I go do this right now, yo, Glim Leaper, thank you for that follow. If I go do this right now, I create a game that's not dead anymore. If I go do this right here, if I do this right here and 5 other individuals do this right here and we stay on from 12:48 all the way to 6 p.m., 7 p.m. and we do that daily, the game is no longer dead. It's active. How does that work? How does that happen? Now the game is active. I really do want to get this game, but they need to make a complete edition. What you mean, like with all DLC and stuff, or like an update? I get a faster queue time in BBCF a day game than Tekken 8. For real? Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, Morichiro is like my guy. All DLC, because when sales hit and those Ultimate Edition are on sale, people buy. I respect that, Glam. Yeah, they definitely should. Dead games that people still play ST. People still got tech for ST. I saw Justice stream yesterday. They was playing Hyper Fighting, I think. Was that Hyper Fighting? I think that was Hyper Fighting. And people like got combos and tech and crazy shit. You can make a game active. Like I literally just made the game more active than it is. You see what I mean? And all I did was load up a lobby. That's how easy it is to make a game more active. I literally just made a lobby. So if 8 other people did that, what I just did, no game is dead. It's impossible. There's always matches to be had. People create the dead game. People create the discords. People create those things. Do you have to do Discord fighters for Street Fighter 6? No, you do not. Why? Because people load up into rank. People load up into player match. People don't load up into this game. That's a people problem. That's not a game problem. The game is here. The game is active. The game is active, but you don't see anybody playing the game. That's the problem. The game is active, though. Like, you can make a game active. And I think that people don't understand that. Because I've been buying all the Ultimate Edition on sale recently, but Samsho only has a deluxe edition. You still need to pay $40 to get the rest of the DLC. That sucks. I feel like people get excited when games are dead. They do! They do. And I miss DNF. DNF was litty. They do. Like, people, like, I'm being legit with y'all. People do get excited when a game is dead because they can shit talk another game. I promise you, people really do get excited about that shit. Because, like, for example, like, let's say somebody plays Street Fighter and they play Tekken 8. And they're like, yeah, your game is dead. Melty Blood, you're dead, blah, blah, blah. Or Uni, you're dead, blah, blah, blah. Like, people like saying shit like that because they're a part of a popular game where they don't have to worry about Discord. They don't have to worry about queuing up and maybe not finding a match. They don't have to worry about that. That's the thing. But when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, none of that matters because all of those games that they're talking about still have active players, but I blame the players because just what I did just 5 minutes ago when I just made a random lobby, if 8 different people on Steam were doing that, the game would be 1000% active. All you have to do is queue up player match. Up, there go a lobby with 3 people. Damn, there go a lobby with 6 people. Damn, there go a lobby with 5. There go a lobby with 4. If somebody queued up Samurai Showdown right now and saw 4 active lobbies with like 8 people in each one or multiple people in each one, please tell me that you wouldn't be like, damn, this game pretty active. That would be the first thing out of your mouth is, damn, this game is active. And imagine that Sunday to Saturday. Imagine that the whole week. The game would be alive. That's what I'm saying. Like, people make games not be active. Like, people do that. And it's weird. I've never played the old school Samurai Showdown. Now, Trey, we're just talking about like gaming in general. I was going over some matchups, but we're just talking about games that are quote unquote considered dead when there's a way to make a game active, but it's all up to the players. You think it's 2 sides of the coin? What 2 sides? Yo, what's good, Dream? Yeah, Glim, that's very important. Like I said, I do have a training partner. I have my homie Dustin that literally hops on daily and plays me in like long sets. So I have the ability to get games in this, in this game, but I feel like more people could just load up. Through doing my work break to show some love. Gotta head out, but enjoy the game, sir. Long live Jubei overhead. Appreciate it, checkmate. Go for everyone at every scene. Also, the people that constantly hate on their game, that then pushes this game to dead territory, and they get shocked. Oh, they hate on their own game. My bad, I read that wrong. Yeah, like the problem, chat, is like the things that I'm showing, the things that I just showed, even the 5 minutes shows that a game can be active if people queue up. You see what I mean? It's like I'm literally, I never do this. I'm gonna just go to Steam charts because I'm just curious. I'm just curious how many people are on right now, because you do have to factor in work and stuff like that. That is something to factor in. Like, I know some people don't like to factor that in, but that's gonna always be a factor. Because even Street Fighter in the morning, when everybody's at work, Street Fighter in the morning is not the most crazy active game. Like, there's people on it, but it's not the same. Like, then if you play it at like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, it's not the same. And the players you run into is like super different. So Samurai Showdown right now has 13 players, right? It has 13 players. So if it has 13 players active right now, right? Active right now, there's no player matches active, right? Even with those 13 players, we could carry active games right now. Even with those 13 players that I just mentioned that are playing right now, we could still carry games. So I'm going to go to player match, and I'm going to open up the player match. So if I go to search, can I find a lobby right now? Unable to find a lobby. 13 people online. Unable to find a lobby. Unable to find a room. So is there a chance that those 13 people are playing with each other? I doubt it. But the fact that it's like 13 people online right now, you also have to factor in it's about to be 1 o'clock. But at the end of the day, even with 13, you can carry the online. Now, it could be people from different regions, because, like, let's say somebody from a different region is just in training mode right now. Like, let's say even, like, a few people. So you still got 6 active players that could be playing the game right now with each other. Now, I'm not saying people aren't playing, or they are. I doubt that they are playing with each other, but that's my point. Back in the day, I did get discouraged when I did have a lobby up for 20 minutes getting no matches. Yeah, like, that is discouraging for sure. I've joined Discords where people actively push people away whether they realize it or not. I mean, Glim, I'm a walking example. I literally was in the Samurai Showdown Discord and left because got pushed out. Too many egos. Too many egos. One bad seed can make the whole community look bad. That's what people don't understand. In a smaller game, one bad seed can actually make the whole game look bad. One bad seed. It doesn't even take multiple. It literally just takes one. If one bad seed is on the game, it'll make the game look bad. Especially if they're toxic in a Discord. It can automatically screw up everything about the Discord. Low count games. There's also people who play it and also shit on it or don't enjoy it. There are also people who genuinely gave these games a shot and didn't enjoy them. But from what I hear about Samurai Showdown, a lot of people like Samsho. I mean, it's been out since 2019, so let's not act like it's not old. I'm not here to act like it's not old, because the shit is definitely old. However, it still holds up to the test of time, and it's in SWC, so it has reasons to play. It's still active in the tournament scene offline, and it's active as hell on Xbox. They still play and do lobbies. I feel like this game specifically, it has things about it that could improve, like as in like little things, like the desync thing with Amakusa, stuff like that, or like if we could get crossplay and stuff like that. It should keep looping the search. Yes, I agree. Common sense hit the nail on the coffin. A person will be good at the game. They'll be like super good at Samurai Showdown, right? And this is all that they have, so they have to hold on to this like it's their baby. So if you are in danger of their baby, they're gonna defend it, right? And if this is the only thing that they can grasp onto, if this is the only game that they play at a high level, if this is the only game that they're really good at, they're going to get super defensive over this title. And that is the problem with like the community in general, because some people take this shit so serious that it's more about, this is my game and you're not going to tell me or educate me on my game. And I'm not worried about you on my game. And that's how people's mind are warped, because it's all that they have. Because somebody like Sonic Fox, who's good at multiple titles, does not fall into this category. Sonic is good at multiple titles. So it's not going to be something like, oh, I have to hold on to NRS or I have to hold on to this. No, it doesn't matter what game Sonic plays. Sonic is going to be top. And that's what people don't understand. It's like, from a perspective of like a high level gamer, if somebody is good at a fighting game, they're good at a fighting game. But some people are only good at their game. Is that a bad thing? No. But when you are only good at your game, that game, especially when it's a smaller title, you need to humble yourself, because for one, not that many people are playing your game. For two, you're good at that game. You haven't branched out to anything else. And you aren't, even when you do branch out, you don't make no noise in the other titles. So that's where you have to humble yourself back, is that you are a Samurai Showdown player, and that's fine, but just humble yourself to that. You see what I mean? And that's one of the worst things that happens in Discord fighters, is people be wanting you to either beg for games, or people be like talking down to you, or acting like you're not like good, or like not wanting to play you because you're new. That was the craziest shit I ever seen in a Discord, is a player saying, "Are you new?" and you confirm yes, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't want to play you." That's crazy. What's good, Jay? Mash has hung around for how many years? Shut definitely in a fair age range. Smash, yeah, Smash been around. I mean, boys still playing Melee. Shit, you can actively get games on Melee, and that's been out. Shit, Melee came out when I was like, what, in the 5th grade? Oh yeah, you take the game away from them, they're, I'm telling you, you're spitting. Not gonna lie, seeing this exact problem in a current community. I mean, I'm telling you. Exactly, Trey. That is the Trey. That is the dream and the vision. If somebody surpasses you, that's a good thing, because, like, for example, like how Diaz is winning all of those Monday tournaments, correct? Diaz is winning all those Monday tournaments. All he's gonna do is push y'all to be able to beat him. You see what I mean? That's the plan. Like, he's pushing y'all. So now the only way for y'all to dethrone him is to get better and beat him. Once y'all get better and beat him and start running even, it'll be a different winner every time. Oh yeah, it's definitely a US problem. It's 1000% like a US problem, cuz like the biggest thing is when you have to look at what people do. You have to look at specifically what people do in some of these games. What kind of community are they hosting? Like, because Japan is still doing lobbies on this game. Now, Xbox still does lobbies on this game. Xbox actually still does lobbies on this game. But again, this game doesn't have crossplay. Crossplay crossplay single-handedly killed Grand Blue, and Grand Blue came back with crossplay, and it got revived. No crossplay can kill your game. Melty Blood, if Melty Blood had crossplay, it would still be popping. If Uni had crossplay, it would be popping way more. Crossplay literally keeps people active. If you're on Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam, now the 30 players that you had playing on Steam only are accompanied by another 30 players on PlayStation that are now have another 40 players on Xbox. Now you have over 100 players playing actively every day. But if you only have the 30 on PlayStation, the 30 on Xbox, and the 40 on Steam, that's not going to work. You have to have crossplay. You have to. Crossplay now, if you don't have crossplay now, you're killing your game on launch. It's crazy. Yeah, like lobbies in different regions go crazy. Lobbies in different regions go crazy, bro. Like legit, this was 4 days ago. Let me show y'all. This was 4 days ago. This right here is 4 days ago, Chad. This is a lobby. Beforehand, I see 4 people in here. I don't know. This might be a tournament. This is the actual tournament. And that's another thing. We damn sure can't get tournaments on Steam for this game because nobody wants to play. And guess what? Japan. Like that's people are playing the game. People are playing this game. But it's just harder to find matches here. That's the thing. People are actively playing this game. People are playing characters nobody really played. But people are like here are playing. Yeah, the Glim. I promise y'all, I got on. Let me see. Is that shit still in my search? Yep, it's still in my search, chat. Told you I would never lie to my chat. Look at this shit. I literally got on the other day because I got on CVS 2 to play with Haomaru and Hibiki just to try him out in that game. I got on and I was like, bro, I cannot get a match on this shit. And I forgot that it doesn't have crossplay. It doesn't have crossplay. No crossplay. So this is just Steam. That's not enough to keep the player base up, bro. It's not. No KO at 15 at Evo Las Vegas after the SNK World Championship. Crazy. Yeah, I don't know what... Because the thing about Evo... The thing about Evo to me, and I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all. Y'all know I speak my mind on shit like that. The thing about Evo now, bro, especially because there's so many Evos, that shit been lost its prestige 1000%. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. It lost its prestige. It's still Evo, but it's lost its prestige, and the way they choose things is just like it just don't make sense to me all the time. So I don't even take Evo that serious. I kind of like, I'll watch it, I'll play. Like, if I won Evo, I'd still be like, hell yeah, I'm an Evo champ. But my point is, like, as you saw, KOF had, like, the best finals. La Yagami clutched. Like, bro, that shit should be automatic. You see what I mean? That shit should just be automatic. And the fact that it's not is just, I don't know. It's just really hard to like get behind all of it because it's just like, damn, like I don't know. Evo is just at this point, Evo is just different. It's definitely not the Evo I grew up with watching, where Justin was fighting Daigo in Street Fighter 4, and then where Ricky fought Daigo, and like those years are just over. Those years are just over, Chad. Like at the end of the day, and it's sad because those are the years I grew up on. But like tournaments just aren't the same. It's just not the same. Yeah, Evo is definitely more of a convention. EWC, SWC, Capcom Cup, etc. seem more prestigious than Evo at this point, especially with the pod not even close. Just my opinion. Nah, it's not your opinion. That's facts. That's facts. That's how I look at it. I look at it just like you, dweeb. I look at it just like you. EWC is bigger than Evo in my opinion. It's more money and it's more stakes and it's harder to win. SWC is harder to win and it's at more stakes. I had an argument with somebody on my stream talking about that. I literally had an argument. Chat. I'll mute this shit. Bro, I had an argument, chat, with somebody on my stream that said it's harder to win Evo than like EWC, SWC, shit like that. Bro, that is not true. It's way harder to win SWC, EWC, Capcom Cup than Evo, bro. Evo, if you are a seeded player at Evo, you are fighting at least 4 to 5 people that the seeds know you are not going to lose to. And then after that, you fight a killer. If you beat 2 killers, you already in top 8. SWC, EWC, you got straight killers automatically. It's nowhere you can run. You are in group play. Yeah, exactly. And you got to qualify for those. And he was acting like I was discrediting Evo win. I'm not discrediting Evo win. Evo is a big accomplishment to get, and I respect somebody winning Evo. But we're not about to sit up here and act like qualifying for EWC, SWC, Capcom Cup, etc., TWT and all that shit. Evo is harder. That's cap. Somebody saying that, they don't know fighting games, bro. They don't know how shit work. That's cap. Exactly. You're in a queue full of killers. You're in a queue full of killers. Like, what are we talking about? And if I want to keep it a buck, if I really want to keep it a buck, y'all know me. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Y'all all remember, I mean, I could pull up the stats, but I don't even think we gonna have to pull up the stats. I don't even think we gonna have to pull up the stats, chat. Cause if I remember correctly, and this ain't hating, it's just the real rap. If I remember correctly, Punk won Evo and then immediately went to EWC and went 0-2. I'm just stating facts. I'm literally just stating facts. He won Evo and then went to EWC and went 0-2. That year that he won Evo, he literally went to the next event and went 0-2 in group play. So that just proves to you that the shit is way harder. When you're in a condensed bracket with only good players, you're gonna be in trouble. And that's all I'm saying. Evo is definitely an accomplishment, 1020%, but we're not gonna act like EWC, SWC, TWT, AWT, or whatever. All of those are not harder than Evo. Those are harder than Evo. Yeah, exactly. Evo is more like regular season. It's like a difficult. I'll say, hold on. I'll say Evo is more like. I'll say it is like was the Super Bowl, right? But with so many Evos now, the prestige has went down. No matter if a person wants to admit it or not, the prestige has went down. But EWC, SWC, those things you can never take the prestige away. You see what I mean? Those are guaranteed prestige. You can't take that away. Evo's prestige has definitely changed a bit because they have so many. Let's make this easy. Imagine you're in an MVC2 tournament and every opponent has just one skill. That's the big events outside of Evo. And exactly, Jay. 1000%. That's what it is. It's literally everybody. Everybody is now Shao Hai. Everybody is now Goichi. Everybody is now Mena. Everybody is now Justin. And they're in a condensed bracket with you. That's like with SWC for me. Yeah, I went 0-2 at SWC. I'm in a condensed bracket of 32 players. Do y'all think I'm going 0-2 at Evo in City of the Wolves? I'll wait. If somebody feel like I'll go 0-2 in City of the Wolves at Evo, then I'll respect it. But SWC, somebody asked me, oh, you went 0-2 at SWC? Yeah. Who did you lose to? ZJZ. Well, damn, he was cooking that weekend. Who else you lose to? Cyborg. Well, damn, Cyborg was cooking that weekend. You see what I mean? There's a big difference. When you're in a condensed bracket It's just not the same. It's like nowhere near the same. So anybody saying otherwise is like actually like capping. They're actually capping, and people actually do be capping about that, chat. People really be believing that Evo is harder, and old buddy was like, I think he just wanted to argue with me, high key. Cause it's just no way you think Evo is harder than like EWC. That shit is just cap. He was like, well, you taking away the credit of the Evo player. I'm like, I'm not taking away the credit of the Evo player. But Evo is more about who played good that day. SWC or like EWC and stuff like that is who's the better player. Like Shao Hai, correct me if I'm wrong, Shao Hai is a two-time, what is it? He's a two-time EWC champ for Street Fighter, right? He won 2 years in a row, correct? Was it that he won 2 years in a row? I think he did win that shit 2 years. Yeah, two-time for Street Fighter. Imagine how hard it is. Y'all know how like crazy Street Fighter 6 is. Bro won twice. I don't care that he lost in Street Fighter League. That man done won EWC twice. That man is the GOAT. Exactly. He won Street Fighter and got second in City of the Wolves. SNK players stay taking all that money. Bro, like, every time. Because they're too powerful. People don't understand skill levels in like fighting games, like, and power levels. Like a Shao Hai, his power level is very high. So you see like how like, I know some of y'all watch Street Fighter League. You see how like Punk was super happy to beat him. Now I respect it if that's your rival, if you like happy to beat your rival, and because he finally won, because usually Shao Hai beats him. So he finally won, so I respect it. Like, that's good stuff, right? He finally beat him. But then he waving in his face and he being, like, kind of mad disrespectful about it, and then proceeds to lose to Mena anyway, when Mena beats him all the time. So it's like, it defeats the purpose. You're happy you beat him and still lost Street Fighter League, while this man is out here winning EWC multiple time KOF champ, multiple time everything champ. This dude is different. And that's the problem with like NA. We be getting happy about like shit that don't matter. You're happy about beating a man in Street Fighter League and then proceeded to still lose Street Fighter League. And then the man you're getting happy is a multi-time KOF champ. The greatest to ever do it in KOF. The greatest to ever do it in KOF. And has won EWC for Street Fighter 2 years in a fucking row. Like, where are your priorities? You shouldn't even be waving at this man. You should be locked in to try to beat Mena and them. Like, it's like people's priorities are different. They be getting excited for the wrong reasons. Like, it's not about that. Like, you getting excited for the wrong shit. Lock in and win the tournament. You getting excited because you done beat somebody finally. It's just weird to me. We don't even bring up the strong pro who don't even do tournaments anymore. A lot of variables to being a champ these days. It's so different now, too. Yeah, exactly. Anybody downplaying EWC does not understand at all. Shao Hai and Goichi are the best multi-fighting game players. Maybe Shao Hai is a little higher since he's topping it. I think some of the best multis, I put those two, and I also put Sonic. If I had a Mount Rushmore, I would definitely put Sonic too. Because Sonic is guaranteed to be pretty much top in another title. If Sonic actually takes it like super serious, I would say like Sonic is like a dangerous threat as well. For sure. But Xiaohai and Goichi are just completely different. Like they're definitely different. And while we do talk about SNK versus Capcom skill, every game, every fighting game is like hard, right? To some degree. Like there's an easy entry, hard to master. SNK games versus like a Street Fighter, like if we compare like a KOF to a Street Fighter, it's non-comparable. And some people really do be thinking Street Fighter is like the hardest. And it's just non-comparable. Street Fighter is like difficult for the wrong, like Street Fighter is harder for the wrong reasons. That's what people fail to realize about Street Fighter. Street Fighter 6 specifically is difficult for the wrong reasons. It's not difficult for the right reasons. It's difficult because of the way it's set up and how you can just throw loop anybody off the game. How you're constantly guessing because you can get throw looped off the game. That's why it's difficult. City of the Wolves, you have to know matchups, you have to know how to JD, you have to know how to HD, you have to know how to get past your opponent's offense and defense. Like, it's a lot of factors. Other game doing well, but you don't see it going the other way. It's because also Street Fighter is a very popular game, so people that play Street Fighter only play Street Fighter. Like, you're not going to see them go to another game. They might try it out, but they're not gonna like be dominant over there. You see what I mean? And some people are like super talented that can like keep up with a game. Like Chris G, Chris is like, he's very talented because he can play any game at a high level, and he plays multiple games. As you see, he always comes back with 1,000,000 trophies and medals and shit. He can play a lot of fighting games at a high level, but the problem is a lot of players are not like him, where they can play fighting games at a high level, like multiple fighting games. Or they might play a game for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They might play a game for a little bit, but they won't take it serious. I think Punk could cook in City of the... If Punk put Street Fighter down, like if he said, yo, Chad, I'm about to just focus on City of the Wolves and lock in, I do think that he could do really good in City of the Wolves. Like, actually, like, seriously good. I think the thing is, since he plays Street Fighter 2 and he wants to keep up and he takes that shit Omega serious, and it is his job, but I think that that's the thing that will always hold him away. Because in City of the Wolves, I think that if you're like, of course, like Goichi is just good at multiple games. Because the thing about Punk plays Hotaru and he plays her like really solid. So it's like he could definitely beat people in City of the Wolves. What he's gonna lose to is the people that actually grind the game. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like nobody is safe because it's like Chris fought Cyborg at, you know, the last chance qualifier, and Chris lost to Cyborg, and it was a really close match. That was like one of my favorite matches to watch just off stream. But like, that's my point. Like, anybody can get got, and Chris G is definitely a better player than Cyborg overall. And I'm saying in the grand schemes of fighting games that Chris has dominated or played at a high level versus Cyborg. But Cyborg grinds City of the Wolves. He's really godlike at KOF, so he's very good at these SNK games. And when two players clash that are just good, it doesn't matter. You see what I mean? Like, it don't matter that you're good at all these multiple games. If this person is godlike at these SNK games and you fight them, you could potentially lose, and that's what happened. So it's very important to kind of like understand like little things like that with fighting games. There's always like answers, but you gotta humble yourself. Cause like, for example, like when that Avatar game come out, when the Avatar game comes out, you're gonna have a lot of early runners, right? People that try to get on the game early and be good, and then they'll probably drop off, right? But the people that stick with Avatar, they're gonna be a threat the whole time that the game is out versus somebody that's just like a tourist on the game. Or somebody that's like high level, but like they play the game sometimes. The person that grinds that shit all the time is gonna be just super more threatening, you know? And I think that that's the problem. Like, people get that confused nowadays. Like, fighting games are not that difficult. Fighting games are not difficult. The problem with fighting games is either you have to stick with them or find people to play with. And it depends on what you play. Because right now, if somebody said, hey, I want to get into Tekken right now, I would say go pick your character, go learn your punishment, go learn your frames, learn your 10 frame punish. If you got an 11 frame, learn that. Learn your 12 frame punish. Make sure you know your 13 frame punish. It's that down 4 1 2. Make sure you got your down 4 1 2 13 frame punish. Make sure you got your 14 and make sure you got your 15. Memorize those. Get your combos. Get your wall game. Go play some matches. Go play some matches. Those numbers will come in handy later. Go play some matches. The moment you play some matches, start learning all these characters. Learn these matchups. Learn these characters. Learn these matchups. Learn these characters. Learn these matchups. You do that, you could be nice within a year. It might take you less, depending on how easy and fast you grind. Depends. It could potentially take less than a year. Some people can get good at Tekken. I mean, you see, good example. Ninja Killer's not new to Tekken. Ninja Killer had been playing Tekken before, but he's really, really locking in now because he's not focused on no NRS shit. Look at Ninja Killer now. Ninja Killer is one of the best in NA free. And before him, there was really no laws doing it in NA like that. And like that man is taking over and he can beat all the high level players here pretty much. That's why I be talking about like levels of grind and who the player is. So it's like, that's my point. A lot of these people, you can get good. You can get good. But you have to have that like dog in you. You really have to like grind that shit. That's when we on that Demon Slayer, my guy. Honestly, it's funny. I was playing a couple days ago. I was playing one of them PlayStation tournaments, but some dude had Wi-Fi. It was really bad. My problem with Demon Slayer, I love playing that shit, but it's like the online is just... It's like, because people are on Wi-Fi so active, it's hard to play it. Like, if the connection is good, I enjoy playing it. But... don't sweat, just have fun the old school day. I mean, if people want to just play a game and have fun, then that's godlike. Like, there's something in it for everybody in a fighting game, in my opinion. If you just want to play it casually and have fun, you could do that. If you want to make content for it, you could do that. If you want to compete for it, you could do that. You could do whatever you want in a fighting game. It just depends on what you want to do. Some people don't just want to have fun. Some people want to compete. Some people want to do both. You can compete and have fun, but you also have to be able to take your L's. Like, that's the thing about competing and having fun. You have to understand taking your L's is okay. And some people be having, like, expectations for themselves where it's, like, unrealistic. Some people have very unrealistic expectations. Like, they'll want to have fun, but it's like they'll fall into a category. They'll want to have fun, but they'll be like, bro, I don't like the way I lost. Then they'll start complaining. Well, you have to pick your battles. You can play for fun for years and get good that way. Most old school legends went that way. Yeah, but now that same play, you can get good, but it depends on what you're trying to do, right? You could do that, but you're not going to do that and win, like, tournaments. It's just not possible. Fighting games aren't how they were in the old school days. Fighting games have changed drastically with new games. So if you want to get good now and actually compete with the best, you're going to have to grind. And like I said, fun is going to be player to player. Fun is going to be player to player. It depends on how, like, what type of things you consider fun. But it's definitely going to be 1000% player to player now. Because I legit think people play fighting games because they love fighting games and they're having fun. But then, like I said, it becomes the unrealistic expectations where a player doesn't put that much time into a game, but they're complaining as if they're really, really good. So it just depends. Grind can be fun, depends on how much you like the game, but most people just sweat for the rank like Tekken and Street Fighter. Yeah, it completely it's gonna always come down, like that's why I say it's person to person, because some people like to grind what you're saying, but a majority of people do not like that. That's why you'll go to a toxic streamer's chat and they'll be crying about losing in rank, or they'll be crying about this player's random and this. That's not a person enjoying the game for fun. And that's what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't do that. That's a very, what you're saying is a very rare case of mind. And a lot of players do not have that. Because players, if you're really having fun, when you're playing a game, you're not constantly crying about the opponent on the other end. You see what I mean? Oh yeah, it's completely fucked up. That's why NA is like the way a lot of players think here, and the way that even the way they stream, their stream etiquette when they're playing a fighting game. Am I saying be like 100% positive all day? No. Like, you don't, I'm not saying a person has to do that. That's going to be hard to do. Have I trained my brain to do that? Yes. But everybody's not me. Nor can everybody do that. But it's a way to handle it. If you're frustrated, if you're naturally frustrated with losing, that's fine. If you're naturally frustrated from losing, that's fine. But if somebody, like, if you're fighting somebody, and you're like, this dude's so random, all this dude keep doing is jumping, all he keep doing is this, all he keep doing is that, this dude sucks, this dude ain't done nothing, this dude don't do nothing. Like, bro, that is a mental disorder, bro. That is a problem. That, like, and then people in NA will try to say, oh, well, it's my stream, I can do what I want, and if you ain't never complained or you ain't never got toxic, like, you're an idiot, and, like, that's, like, fake, you being fake on stream. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's like real rap. If you're literally out of your mouth saying that this player is random, this person's doing this person's doing that, you sound like you have all the answers to counter that person, but you can't. So who's really at fault here? The person that's complaining or the person you're fighting? Because you sound like you have every single answer to stop the player from doing what they're doing, because you keep calling out everything, so you're seeing it, but you can't stop it. That would make you the worst player. How you know what a person gonna do, but you can't beat it? Now this person's random because, quote unquote, they're not doing or playing how you want them to play. So what's your way of playing? That is completely not healthy. Sounds like LTG. Like, it's like a lot of people get into that, and it's called a habit. So if you wake up every Friday, you know, you wake up, you shower, you brush your teeth, and then you literally vacuum the whole house every Friday. You vacuum. What does that create? That creates a habit. Because now every Friday, that creates a routine. That creates a habit. Every Friday, I know I'm about to vacuum. Damn, yep, tomorrow's Friday. It's time to vacuum, time to clean up, time to get this shit right. Every Friday, that creates a routine. That's a habit. Right? If you complain every time you play your game on stream, and you complain every single time, that becomes a habit. It becomes a routine. So you can't stop because you're used to doing it. It's what you go to. You see how that works? What's up, Static Gorilla? You missed this game? Yeah, this game is lit. But see, Trey, here's the difference, right? I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Before SWC, I had moments where I would be like, oh my God, this dude playing blah, blah, blah. I didn't do it often, but there would still be bits and pieces of me doing it. But I didn't do it often. Or I'd be like, kind of like upset about how somebody's playing or something like that. Human, right? Ever since I came back from SWC, I haven't complained one time. I haven't cried about the game one time. I haven't said, oh my God, why this dude playing like this one time. Not once. Not once. Why? Because I trained my brain. I trained my brain in a way to not complain. I trained my brain in a way to only find answers. I trained my brain in a way to, why would I be crying about what he's doing when I know how to stop it? I trained my brain. Now it's wired. So now I don't jump back to how I was months before I went to SWC. Now I'm only looking forward because I know these other players are not complaining. These champions are not complaining. They're not complaining. These champions are not complaining, bro. Like 1000%, they're not complaining. They're literally just getting like that. So it's a way to train it, Trey. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying you got to be perfect or you can't have your moments, but it's when it becomes a habit and it becomes a routine. Like Common Sense said, it'll start becoming a routine, and then you'll default to that. And there's a lot of streamers that do that. There's some streamers that don't, but there's a lot of streamers that do. And when you make excuses instead of finding solutions, then you're never going to get good. You're just not going to get good. That's the problem with it. You'll never get good unless you like really lock in and say, hey, like, I need to really find a solution to the reason why I'm getting hit right here. Okay, bet. I figured it out. Now you don't get hit by that no more. And then you straight. Yeah, the my character is bad excuse. It's funny because even if your character, like, let's say your character is like lower tier, you made that decision. You see what I mean? You made that decision on the character select screen. So you knew your character lost like this matchup. You know your character loses this matchup, but you chose to pick the character. Now because you lose, now it's, oh, it's my character. Like, you can't do that. You chose the character. I didn't tell you to pick that character. It's just weird. The best approach is to pick one game that you'll stick to for the next 20 years and take it as slow as you want. Good example is Third Strike Community. Carlos, I would say a lot of the newer GM players just want to play new shit, right? So if somebody plays like a game like Alpha 2, or they're still playing Alpha 2, they're still playing ST, they're still playing Hyper Fighting, stuff like that. If they're still playing those games and they're still grinding those games, I respect that because they have a passion for those games. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if somebody's playing like a newer game, I also don't knock that because it's still gonna be more competition and easier to get games in a lot of the newer titles. So somebody that just stays legit to their game, like, I definitely respect that. And I think that is not easy to do. Like, if somebody's still playing Marvel 2 to this day and grinding that shit, I respect that. But some people do want, they want to branch out. And branching out, I think, in my opinion, is very important because it does help you get better at even the said game that you're already playing. Because, like, let's say you're a Marvel 2 player, right? And Avatar comes out and you start playing Avatar and you're pretty nice at Avatar just because you're a high level Marvel player and you're like, you get real nice at Avatar. When you go back to Marvel 2, you're going to have new ideas and you're going to have new, like, your brain is going to operate so different after playing, and it can literally make you better at the game. That's why I say branching out is important. Because burning yourself out on playing one game can be bad. It just depends on how much you play it and your focus. But I do think that branching out could be good. I played a dude and beat him, and he said, "Oh my God, my sucks." I said, "Well, I can't beat this my, so I can he beat me and you can't. Yeah, that's definitely like a player thing where players will like they will close off their brain to like simple shit. So like what you said, a player is quicker to blame that my sucks instead of making the mistakes that they made because they made a lot of mistakes. And a lot of people do that here. Am I saying this is the only region? No, but we are the most common region that just complains about everything, for sure. I feel like if some people do find a solution from complaining, but the thing is, if you find a solution from complaining, that could have still been avoided because the complaining still didn't help you. The complaining still never helped you. You see what I mean? Like, you complained and found a solution, but the original complaint never helped you. Because if somebody starts DPing on Wake Up and you like, bro, this dude is a scroll. He keep DPing on Wake Up. That complaint that you just said didn't help you. Because if you would have been like, oh, he likes the DP, bet. I'm going to do my max punish when I hit him next time. You hit him next time and you be like, dang, he just got deleted. That same interaction was no complaints. You just acknowledged it. But if you like, oh my God, this dude is scrub, that's unnecessary. You see what I mean? It just levels to it. Atomic Habits, great book about building healthy habits and trying to shift bad ones. That shit is very important. Like, super important. Yeah, I don't understand. I hate that my character sucks, but you picked him. Like, that shit's crazy. Oh, you just got back from Japan playing Third Strike? Nice. Yeah, the Guilty Gear community is good about that because the Guilty Gear community, you can still play, like Plus R or Exert. Like, they're still active players because you can play the Guilty Gear that you want to play, but you just have to make sure that you're picking the Guilty Gear that you want. You see what I mean? Like, it depends. It just depends on what you want to play. Yo, what's good, Barbar? Yeah, playing multiple games is super essential. I think it just helps your brain. It stimulates your brain in a way that one game cannot. Like if you play, like for example, like if you just play Mortal Kombat 11, I'm gonna give y'all a good example. If you just play Mortal Kombat 11 all time, only Mortal Kombat 11, and you come to any other game, it's gonna feel different. But if you play Mortal Kombat 11 and then you dabbled in Street Fighter, you dabbled in Guilty Gear, you go back to Mortal Kombat and you're going to be an animal. You're going to think differently. You're going to like be able to react to certain things differently. It's just going to be a different thing. Yeah, you don't got to take them serious. Like taking a game serious will always be if you want to take the game serious. People's enjoyment in games is just different. People's enjoyment in games is different. Like, that's always going to be like, does this person want to play the game serious? Does this person not want to play the game serious? I think that that's going to always differ. If you want to play a game serious, if you want to try to compete, if you want to try to do this, that's cool. If you want to play a game for fun, that's cool. Personally dumbs me down, makes me less sharp. Plus, it's just not as fun for me. The only thing about that trade, I will say, is if you the only thing I'll say about that trait, if your character happens to be top tier though, like for example, like let's say Janae gets buff to where she's like top like Mark of the Wolves. Because in Mark of the Wolves, she's a top tier character. Like let's say she gets buff. If you dropped her because she was top, then I would feel like that's weird. You see what I mean? Like I'm okay with a person playing like the character they want. But if your favorite character is still high tier, top tier, and you drop that character, don't want to play that character, that's weird. I think that's kind of weird. Don't you guys analyze your mistakes after complaining? I mean, like, I can only speak for myself right now. I haven't been complaining, so, like, I analyze everything on spot. That's all I can say. I don't complain. I just play. I just play and adapt. Actually value these skills or wins if I do. Part of the reason my And trade games because I actually want to prove to people I can, and I want no gray lines in between. I mean, I would say if you play on a top tier, that don't mean that doesn't take away like the credit of your win though, right? Like if you won on, bro, all these people that went to SWC playing Hotaru, you think they care? Like them boys trying to win, they don't care. Now it just depend on like I said, your levels. All my 3S experience helped a lot with City of the Wood JDs, funny enough. And funny part, Bar, all of my JDs from a City of the Wolves translated to CVS2 when I was using Rage. Bro, I was lighting up like a Christmas tree on CVS2. And that was only because I had been playing so much City of the Wolves. So that shit transitions 1020%. Oh yeah, like IBs, yep, 1020%. Guilty Gear is a game I think that everybody should experience once, even if it's like Exert, if it's if it's like Accent Core, whatever plus R, if it's like I feel like everybody should experience the older Guilty Gears for sure. MK11, you have to have guts to play that longer than 10 hours. I honestly liked MK11 better than MK1. I like things about MK1 better, like the wake up system, but I liked MK11's skill cap. MK11 had a bigger skill cap. Fighting top tier Janae would be actually insane. And I love Janae. Like I actually have a lot of fun playing her. And I never even dropped her because I didn't think she was good, because I was actually boxing. Like people can ask the Mexico community, when I was fighting them in tournaments with her, I was actually placing like top 3, top 2. I was doing mad work with her. I actually was counter picking all the Billy Canes with her. The only Billy that was actually beating me was Danny. Every other Billy I was cooking with Janae. I was actually like only picking her to counter Billy. When Billy was cheap in that meta, I would pick Janae on them, and like I was countering every Billy. I was actually cooking when I was playing her. I do miss her. I mean, I could play her again tomorrow if I wanted, but it's like I did find the scrolls to like beat people with her, and it was really fun. If she ever did get buffed, if she got buffed, I ain't gonna hold you. If Janae ever does get buffed, she'll be auto top tier. She got some things about her that'll make her auto top tier. Some announcements or teasers at either Game Award. I guess they're going to drop something on their socials in January. Yeah, they'll drop some information in January. I just feel like I knew it wasn't gonna be nothing at the Game Awards. I just feel like now we're just waiting on the balance patch. Yeah, playing a top tier, literally, especially in this climate, bro. You see how many my players play her in Street Fighter 6 and still losing? Like, to play on a top tier nowadays will not guarantee you anything. And it's very dangerous to just think that it will. Now, I feel like if you're a high level player and you do play a top tier, it does increase your chances, but it doesn't mean you're going to win. Because a lot of time with the top tiers, everybody will know the matchup. Oh yeah, if you traveling and you're not playing a top tier, or you not like, if you're traveling and you just got the money to blow, that's fine. But if you're actually traveling and competing and you feel like you can win, and you're not playing a bit of a top tier, a high tier character, yeah, you kind of throwing a little bit. Oh yeah, Guilty Gear is definitely a brutal game. You have to really, it's because risk reward is so important in that game, and defense, risk reward, and offense is just so important in Guilty Gear. So it's like when you really have that balance, again, that's why I love Guilty Gear. Gear will always be like my one of my favorite 2D fighting games. Period. Exert is probably still one of my favorite fighting games that I enjoy playing. Strive, I liked playing Strive, especially at the beginning. Like, I did enjoy playing Strive. I just got knocked off of it quick. I can't remember what specifically happened, but I got knocked off of it quick. And then I came back for LFL. And I had fun with her too. Yeah, MK11 was really sick. My bad, I'm so behind on the comments. I'm like scrolling. Yeah, season 2, she would actually go crazy. Top Kevin, if Kevin gets the appropriate buffs, he's auto top tier too, I think. Oh yeah, I mean, you did the right thing. You went from Terry, in which I do think Terry is really good. Don't get it twisted. But you going to Marco was more your style because you were mixing people and you were playing really good neutral. And then when you went to Hotaru, it just made everything make sense. Because now I feel like if you did want to go back to Terry, you would even be more powerful. I think what they need to do, they need to just delete the top 3. And when I mean delete, you need to do whatever appropriate nerfs you can do to make Kain, Hokudamaru, and Hotaru. You need to make them like mid tiers. Like, you need to do whatever you need to do to gut them to make them mid tiers, just so the game can be more refreshing. Hotaru is hard to nerf her because she just has everything. But there's a couple of nerfs that I know that they could give her that would change, probably change her tier. Yeah, exactly, Barbara. I'm not trying to get out of pools or just get top 16. I'm trying to win the major. That's why I had to educate old buddy. It's like, bro, I don't care about no top 8 placement. I got top 8 when I've been getting top 8 for years. I've been getting top 8 since I was 17, bro. I'm 33, bro. I don't care about top 8. I'm trying to win the tournament. I'm trying to win the tournament or get up in the money. That's the two objectives. So if top 8 is payout, then yeah, okay, bet I'm in the top 8 payout. Okay, let's try to win the tournament from here. But I'm just trying to not. Like, people, I don't know, people get that confused. Oh yeah, I like Exer way more than Stroud. Yeah, they should probably mess with Haoki, and I think that they need to put a recovery on Light Fireball. I think if they put recovery on Light Fireball where she can't just run after this shit, either put recovery on her or make the fireball so fast that she can't run after it. Like something like that where she can't get auto like full screen pressure on you, something like that. Make EX command grab count as airborne move. So you can only cancel it into EX dive kicks or red blow. Okay, I see. I see what you're cooking with that idea. That wouldn't be too bad actually, because they definitely need to change something with her command grab. I don't know specifically, but like that's the thing. She just got too many options. Yeah, getting a full, because she's getting a full route. Like that shit is completely grounded into a full route. That's too strong. Oh yeah, they put a lot of changes because Janae and and Marketer Wolves had your block on lock with them stances. And Kevin, I mean, everybody know how Kevin was in Marketer Wolves. Yeah, because this was like, I want City of the Wolves season 2 to be like the greatest season ever. And like for anybody to be like, man, see, this game crazy, bro. Y'all remember launch KOF 15, correct? So people gonna act like they don't remember Vanessa. People are gonna act like they don't remember Robert Garcia. at the beginning of season 1, like KOF was fucked up. KOF 15, bro. Vanessa was so fucking broken. Vanessa was so fucking broken. Like broken. Like she was on some hoe shit. If she hit you with an upper, you lost. Bro. King Von, I'm dead. She was broke. Like, it was to the point to where in rank match, if you was playing Vanessa, you was like, yep, if I get this first upper, and you would get the upper and you would literally kill the other person. It was like, bro, what in the hell? It's like, if you remember launch KOF, then you can't even hate on launch City of the Wolves. Cause like I feel like City of the Wolves, they're trying. It's hard to nerf those characters too. It's really hard to nerf those characters. I feel like if SNK also buffed the training mode, I mean not the training mode, the online to where like everybody could connect well, like with Mexico too. I think that would be like a W. Like if they had a better online, this shit would like go crazy. I also think replay takeover for City of the Wolves would be insane. I think replay takeover for City of the Wolves will be so insane, bro. Bro, if they did replay takeover, it'd be so many situations where you could literally get like ridiculous at the game because you would fight somebody in a set. You'd be like, bro, what could I have done? Then you'll be like, damn, I could have optimized that combo. Damn, I could have just JD'd that and killed you. That makes you better at the game. And that shit is very important. Yeah, like, and it's so the game is so situational that happens. That's gonna happen, right? So you're gonna have a moment where you'll be like, damn, I only had this much meter of rev. Damn, if I would have micro walked or if I would have did this, I could have killed. Bet. Those situations are so important in that game that I think replay takeover, you have to have it. Cause look at Tekken. Bro, Tekken, Guilty Gear, what you call it, plus R had it. It's another game, Street Fighter 6. All those games, when you replay takeover, that shit makes a difference, bro. Bro, that was crazy. He just started spinning. Yeah, the replay desyncs were definitely I think they did an update where they made it a little better, but yeah, I think it's still desyncs. Oh yeah, still automatically yo, Sarai, thank you so much for that prime. Sarai Su FGC, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let me update that. Thank you for that. I have a feeling that they're going to focus on 2-lane mode and maybe ring out like what if they put big money up for all these modes. I think that'd be so sick. Yeah, like I'm down for that. I'm down for like anything to make more people want to play and more people want to explore the game, chat. Like Terry and Rock ate that one patch, but the same patch where Terry got buffed and where Rock got buffed, they both ate, but it's just like the top tiers are still the top tiers. And the problem is, it's funny because Hotaru literally had these same tools in the old game, but she wasn't top tier. So it's like, it's the way this system works and like her break attacks. That's the difference. It's like, you would have to really, now Kain, I ain't gonna hold you. Kain, you would have to nerf his damage because his setups ain't going nowhere. I would never want to nerf his Oki. That's not fair to him. But his damage you can nerf. Honestly, hot take chat, I gotta take off the glasses for this one. Hot take chat, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. I wouldn't actually care about no top tier if Hokuto Maru didn't exist the way he plays. If that man didn't exist, like if he wasn't in the game playing like that, and it was just Hotaru and Cain, I would not care, bro. I promise you. I just don't like him. I don't like him. I just don't like the way he plays. I think the way he plays just it gets around the system too much. It just gets around the system too much. What buffs would you want for Ken? What's up? Hi, Danny. Ken Ken is in a weird spot because the thing is, I don't even think Ken is bad. I just think that he's in a weird spot. Make Ken's dash faster and give him dash jump. Yeah, that would be some good changes because I think all the Street Fighter characters should have dash jump. And I think that because Chun Li's dash, in my opinion, is good. I think Chun has a good dash. If you make Ken's dash faster, yeah, that might be a solution. Because I don't think his tools are bad. Yeah, T-Zog not having dash jump is like unreal. T-Zog actually with like better Oki on all of his grabs. Like if he got super Oki, I'm talking about like if he was plus 20 on all Oki command grabs and close to you, I actually think that man would be like upper tier. I think he'd be like damn near high tier. If as long as he got Oki off of every single command grab, I think he'd be high tier. Yeah, I think that that's the only thing that he needs. I think that he needs to be like, if he knocks you down, he can win the game. I think that'll be fair. Yeah, exactly. If he earns that, he earned that. I think that that'd be fair. And my man hit him with the instant overhead. But I think overall, City of the Wolves is going in the right direction. I just feel like you gotta nerf the top tiers. But like I said, Hoku to Maru has been just. Hoku to Maru is the only character in the game that when you're on him, I'm just like, you don't have to interact enough. Hotaru has to still interact with you to fight you. She still got to interact. Cain has to interact with you. Hoku actually never has to interact with you. Exactly. She's putting herself at risk. Hokuto Maru actually never puts himself at risk. He never puts himself at risk. And in that game, the fact that he's playing like that is very hard to stop it with a lot of characters. He actually deletes characters off the screen. Like, bro, Hoku versus Dong Wan, that shit is like, I swear that shit's like 8-2. Like, Hoku, you can't catch him and you can't jump. Hoku versus Salvatore used to be really bad. I used to pick Hoku on Furno, and Furno definitely did not like that matchup. That shit is bad. Like, him eliminating jump characters too, shit is bad, bro. His up back is unreal, bro. That's why I don't like in this game, I don't like fighting Yashimaru in this game because Yashimaru just be jumping around the screen. That's why Tender Mule plays Yashimaru, because Yashimaru can jump around just like Hoku. It's like Yashimaru, I hate fighting Yashimaru. I hate characters with double jumps that can stall they jump with a move. That shit is very annoying. It's just annoying. It's like, bro, why can this character stall? If you just had a double jump and you couldn't stall it, I'd be like, oh, okay, bet. Bros be stalling. Yeah, it's just jump after double jump after. It's like, brother, please. Yeah, it's too much. Can you explain what options as the defender you have on a close heavy and a feint pressure? As a defender, when somebody does like a close heavy, on you in City of the Wolves, what you will want to do is once you block that close heavy, you want to assess what they do after. So you want to input JD, and if they try to swing back with another heavy or something, you could just JD it and guard cancel. That's kind of like my logic. So if a character gets on top of me and I was like Hotaru, and you do heavy, and then you cancel it and you go into another heavy to frame trap me, I'm gonna just guard cancel command grab you. You see what I mean? So you just want to guard cancel and go into your special move. That's basically how heavy feint pressure works. Now some players will know that you're doing that and they'll go for like light chains or something like that to break that up. But you know, if somebody does like a plus move on you, like if Cain does close stand C feint, crouch jab, flash kick, then you know he's gonna do crouch jab, flash kick. So essentially what you could do, you could double JD the jab into the flash kick and then react, or you could uppercut in between. You could JD the jab and then uppercut the flash kick. It's a lot of things you could do. That's why the game has a lot of things that you can actually do. Also, you can rev blow. If you know Cain is going to do flash kick, also you can rev blow and get a free counter hit. So when Cains do elbow, EX elbow, like EX shoulder into EX flash kick, if you rev blow, you counter hit him and you kill him. Like, because he's not going to do EX shoulder rev blow. Nobody would do that, not close range. They're going to do EX shoulder flash kick, and if you rev, you kill him. That's the weakness to that. Like when a Cain player does that, you can counter hit them. If you rev guard the first hit of a heavy, generally speaking, a lot of them push back. So you can backdash, yeah. You can backdash after a rev. That's why rev guarding is so important, because you can backdash when you rev guard. So like you rev guard and then you backdash. And that eliminates a lot of characters in the game. So like a character, even like Janae, who does close stand C, far CC, rev guard, backdash, she misses. She can't hit you. A lot of like Hotaru is like that too. If Hotaru does close stand D, same thing. Oh, Trey, basically, so when he does the elbow, you do, like, so when he's lunging at you, you rev guard the elbow. You don't rev guard. That shit jails you. Rev guard to flash kick jails, but if you see the elbow, you rev, and then he's going to commit to flash kick. It's going to be a panic. They're going to commit. They're not going to do elbow rev. Like, they ain't got those type of reactions. I wouldn't, don't rely on it, because they'll eventually start doing elbow rev or elbow nothing. But that's an easy way to, like, score a counter hit on him. So if you feel like you need to pull that out in the end of a bracket match, and you feel like, okay, this is the round where I kind of need damage, then you do that. That's when you would do that. Yeah, rev guarding is very important in that game. Like, it's super important. It literally eliminates characters. If you rev guard backdash, it eliminates half the cast, majority of the cast. Because they can't get offense on you. Yo, Daily Rev Neo, what's good? That's the whole point in that game, is to eliminate offense. And you can eliminate a lot of offense if you just do that specifically. Rev guard players make me cry. I mean, see, that's when a new layer comes out. Like the rev guarding is so powerful in that game that if you start to rev guard a lot, people can put you in certain mix-ups because you like the rev guard, or they will rev you up. Hotaru has a lot of block strings where she can rev you up automatically. Like button into reflect kick, like that shit revs you up. Like her target combo, that's why Hotaru is like kind of busted with her target combo. Target combo to light reflect kick all jails, and that shit revs you up. So if you're revving, she will literally light your light your rev gauge up like really badly. So you want to find characters that do like high rev gauge damage. Yeah, just like GG. Yep. Yep, Trey. That's the smart thing with her. That Janae is really good at it because she can bring you back on block. Like super good at it. Any character like Hotaru, in my opinion, is like the best at it. Hotaru is for sure the best at it. Daily Rave Neo, we gotta play some. If you still play Samsho, I don't know if you still lock in or like play it from time to time, but yeah, we definitely gotta play some more next time. This matchup specifically, Yoshitora, I like to pick Gangsung Lee. Like Lee clears Yoshitora very bad. He cannot jump. Like if he jumps, he's cooked. She outranges him, and that's it. Like he'll never be able to jump on her. I actually like that matchup. Any matchup where Yoshitora can't jump, it's gonna be a different time because his buttons aren't the best. Like his buttons are like mediocre. Yeah, Billy before, I mean he's still like that, but before the nerf, he was definitely the best at cranking rev gauge. If you rev guard against him, you lose. It was really auto L. That's why like literally that's another thing. When I was fighting a lot of like the Mexico community with Billy, when I was playing with Billy in that era, I was deleting every Hokutomaru. Like Robert is really really good. Like Robert is nice, like real nice with Hokutomaru. But when I was fighting Robert, I literally picked Billy. I deleted him in like 3 brackets because he wasn't able to. He couldn't fight back. He would rep because the thing about Robert, he's a rev guarder. So I would just do stand D, pull in, +1, button again, EX pull in, plus again, button. That man would be at like 60%. And at this point, he can't even do a combo on me because now he's at 60. So it's like Billy right then and there was like super toxic. Now I feel like Billy is just like he's really good and he can still crank your rev gauge, but it's just not busted because he's not plus. Is this my main like Samurai Showdown? Who am I maining in City of the Wolves right now? Chun-Li. Is this your main character? Who, me? Oh, no. Hell no. I don't play Yoshitora. Yoshitora is literally just a jumpy character. He's like a jumpy character, so you know that's not my. You see how he just jumping with that big old normal? That's all Yoshitora does. You see how they playing? Like that's all you. Yoshitora. The key to beating Yoshi is just pick a character that can anti-air. Pick a character with a DP, and Yoshitora is knocked off the screen automatically. Yoshi is a knowledge check character. Because if you don't have a DP, you gotta run under him or you have to JD that attack. Like that attack right there, when he's up high, you can JD and guard cancel him. But like, that's the problem. You see how he ran under? Like that's your only option. But the funny part, Yoshitora got an uppercut. So he shouldn't be jumping this much against him. He could definitely be uppercutting. Yoshitora's uppercut ain't the fastest, but you could definitely uppercut. Yeah, I'm a Chun-Li player in City of the Wolves. That was my OG character from most Street Fighter games, but like I main her now in this game in City of the Wolves. I haven't really been streaming the game much or playing. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, chat. I'm just waiting on a balance patch. Cause Frosties, I'm going to Frosties, but like at the end of the day, I don't know if it's an SWC event because they haven't announced that, and I'm waiting on a balance patch because the last thing I want to do is just queue up and keep fighting the same characters that I was fighting at like all of these tournaments. At this point, I'm kind of like just a little burnt out where I just need a little break and I need a balance patch. You said Sagat gotta go for real. It's funny because when Sagat first dropped, see, I knew he could uppercut that. When Sagat first dropped, people were saying Sagat sucked, but he ain't uppercut that. And now everybody's saying Sagat is like ridiculous. And I know Blas is making a lot of plays with Sagat. It's like weird. Communities are so weird. Exactly. You remember that, right? Comments. I knew I wasn't tripping. Like everybody said he sucked. Like literally, I was saying Sagat sucks. He ain't got this. He ain't got that. He ain't got this. And then Blas, guess what? Non-complainer, by the way. Blas just got on the character and started making magic. Every time, like when a player doesn't complain and just plays, they make the character godlike. I don't know. And I don't think Sagat was ever bad. You two ranks away from legendary Wolf. Nice. Oh yeah, more people knew what they talk about. Everybody be rich. That's the problem. Like a lot of people just don't know what they talking about. That's the classic though for fighting games. Like I feel like if more people had more knowledge of fighting games, then we wouldn't be in this situation. I think one of the most important things about fighting games is for you to have your opinion, for me to have my opinion, right? And then for us to collectively come together and have a discussion about the game that doesn't gravitate towards oh my god, you're so right, or I'm so right. How about we meet in the middle and we both be right and we correct each other if we are wrong or we feel a certain type of way. Collective discussions lead to positive outcomes. It's crazy. All yaps, no real substance. Facts. Facts. What's good, homie? That's the grand scheme of it. If we all collectively, and me and Kenzo are really good about this. I'm glad the homie is here. Me and Kenzo are really good about this because me and Kenzo have actively talked about fighting games together for years. And not once have me and Kenzo ever got into it. Not once have me and Kenzo ever bickered. Not once. We always laugh, joke, and always come together as collective homies with information. And guess what? Me and Kenzo could build an empire with that knowledge. But people not ready for that combo. That's the problem. People aren't ready for that combo. Me and him could build an empire of knowledge with other people, and we could, NA would be fucking Omega strong. Omega strong. If you put me and him in charge of other players, bringing players together with our knowledge of fighting games, NA would grow. It wouldn't be no egos. I would kick somebody out before an ego grow. I would just want you. Now you might get the ego after you win Evo. You feel me? But at the end of the day, we would grow the cause. And people are afraid of that. People are afraid of showing knowledge. People are afraid of bringing players together. People want people to be separate. I'm telling you, people want people to be separate. People don't want to bring the community together. Because if you want to bring the community together, you know what you got to do. You see what I mean? People would rather go on Twitter and be like, fighting games suck. Okay. Why do you feel like that? No explanation, by the way. Fighting games suck. Why? Why do you feel like fighting games suck? No explanation. We going in the wrong direction. Who is we? Why do fighting games suck? Like nobody explains what they're saying. Like nobody. It's like it's weird. Think of NA not happy to share info with each other at times. Yeah, that's the thing, Danny. It's like a lot of players want to gatekeep. Like players want to hold on to information and players want to gatekeep. Players don't want people to get better. Players don't want to share information. Players don't want to come collectively as a group and be like, hey, this is how I feel. How do you feel about it? I feel like it's kind of like blah, blah, blah. And then I'd be like, bro, I show you this new tech and you like, damn, okay, bro, I'm about to start doing that in my matches. It's easy. saying a whole genre sucks is crazy, but if somebody thinks most of a genre sucks, there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like if you feel like certain fighting games aren't for you, then there's a way to say that. Like, you don't see me, I don't bash 2XKO. I don't talk about 2XKO. I don't bash it and I don't talk about it. I respectively play other things and I respect the people that play it still. You see what I mean? It's like, it's a way to go about it. The classic shit talk super canceled until you suck. That's crazy. Yeah, Tokon, the Tokon, what's going on in Tokon right now is like, it's actually crazy. I ain't gonna hold you. It's definitely a tug of war in that shit. That shit is a Mario Party. That shit is a Mario Party 1 tug of war. If anybody was there, you know the palm of your hands was fucking hurting. Anybody that was in that era. I know some of y'all OGs know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. That shit is a Mario Party 1 tug of war. We don't want to help each other. We don't even have universal health care. Want them to keep any advantage they have other people, but Japan just want to get better. That's ultimately the reason we'll always lose. That's literally the reason we'll lose, because that's the difference. Like, people want to act like people will act like you slurp in Japan or you trying to like do this to Japan. No, it's just actual factual. Japan has dominated us for years, bro. In some games, yes, we can hold our own, but in a grand scheme of things, Asia cooks us. And you really have to understand that because they cook us, you study them and see what they're doing. And a lot of them are 1000% playing with each other. A lot of them are sharing tech, and a lot of them actively talk to each other, and they're actively building something. Here, it's like, bro, you beat somebody, now you suck. Now you beat this streamer, now he talking shit on you. Now you've never beat him in a fighting game. Now you suck. Now you're bad. It's like, bro, that don't help nothing. What happened to, damn, you kind of cooked me today in rank, bro. You trying to run some games, bro? I'm trying to get better in that matchup. Nobody here will say that shit. The percentage here that will say that is the 1%. That's sad. That shit is bad. Not what you say, but how you say it. Oh yeah, that's what my mom say too. Like, it depends on the way you say it. It's like how you saying it is crazy, and a lot of people don't know how to approach that properly. Yeah, fighting game hate is definitely trendy. Oh, you feel that Mario Party 1 analogy? Blisters for days stacks. My shit was cut up, bro. That Mario Party 1, bro, like, yeah, that tug of war, I'm glad you got that shit. That shit was in the newspaper. We had that newspaper article, too. Like, that shit, the palm of my hands was cut up. Oh, yeah, that's 1,000%. 1,000%. When a community wants to grow, you see these weekly lobbies, right? Now, I won't say the Samsho community on Xbox is active. They still do tournaments and like weekly lobbies and stuff, but on PC it's just non-existent. But you see right here, these Japanese players are playing in a tournament that literally happened a couple of days ago. Let me see how many days ago. 4 days ago, this was a tournament for Samurai Showdown. You see what I mean? You know, some people would not play you after they beat you in tournament. Do y'all know that? Some players won't play you after they beat you in tournament. They'll beat you in tournament, then won't play you. Like, hello? You be like, yo, you play real good, bro. You trying to play? Crickets. Back in rank. The rank brain rot. That's what I call rank. Rank, too much rank becomes brain rot. That shit will rot your shit. You can create new ideas in player match. You can level up. So I'm gonna tell you right now. If you play, I'm gonna give you an example. If you play 50 matches in player match with somebody and you start creating these new like ideas, these new whatever, and you keep creating all these new ideas, you trying new combo routes, new setups, and all this shit. Versus you playing ranked all day and getting frustrated and you're not trying none of your new shit because you're focusing on the win and the rank. You're trying to win by boosting your rank. You're not trying to like try out shit and do all of that. You're not willing to try out new shit in rank and drop, 1,000 MR. You're not willing to do that. You see what I mean? You're not willing to do that. And that's the thing. Like, some people be trying to like test shit out in rank. The people that try to test shit out in rank and see what works are the good players that they're gonna go far. People that like literally are just playing for the win, you fall into habits, bro. You fall into really bad habits. Yeah, they don't want you to learn how to beat them. That's one of the that's why Cyborg beat me at SWC. Y'all do understand me and Cyborg have over like probably like 200, 300 matches, right? But people didn't know that. People just saw me and Cyborg versus each other at SWC, and it's like Nash lost to Cyborg. Yep. And it's like, bro, that's my training partner. Me and him done fought over like 300 matches. Like, I got him where he was today because of that. Do you think I was upset that I lost to my training partner at SWC? No. I wasn't upset at all. I was happy to see him go. I wanted to see how far he could go. Was I disappointed in my run? Of course. I have expectations for myself. So, yeah, I was disappointed, but I wasn't mad. I was like, bro, if y'all knew what I was doing backstage before that shit, I'm going to give y'all a little rundown. Because y'all weren't backstage, of course. Y'all were looking on stream or at the tournament. Backstage, bro, I was talking to everybody. Like, I'm talking like employees and shit, people, security guards. I'm like, yo, I'm about to play for a milli, bro. What's good? I'm chopping it up. I'm like, where the water at? Like, I'm just chopping it up with all these people. They were like, damn, I love seeing a brother play for this money. I'm like, bro, I'm out here, bro. Stop playing with me. I walked in the curtain. I seen Cyborg. I was like, bro, we on TV, bro. Like, I was hyped. But you don't see that energy. I was hyped. I'm like getting people, because I know people probably nervous and shit. It's like, I wasn't nervous. Like, I've been here before. Like, I've been on these big stages before. I'm like getting hype and shit. Like, I'm getting security hype. That's just my energy. But people didn't see that because, of course, it was backstage. My point to that is, like, I was more happy. Yeah, now when I got on stage, oh yeah, I was locked in. I was like tunnel vision. But, backstage, I'm trying to get people hype, I don't know. That's just the way I am, though. Yo, caring about win-loss is very dangerous. I was proud of you for that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Like, one thing about me, my personal growth is more important, right? So I don't care. I've accomplished enough in fighting games in my life thus far that I'm content with where I am right now. I'm content with where I'm at right now. Yo, Sawed Off G, I appreciate that, appreciate it, brother. I'm content with where I'm at right now in fighting games, point blank, period. The only thing left to do in my fighting game journey, the only thing left to do is to get the big W at a big event. You feel me? That's the only thing left to do. I've already accomplished everything else that I've wanted to really do in fighting games. At this point, I want to like grind my content and like up that, if anything. But if we're talking about from a competitive standpoint, all I want to do, the last thing in my journey, because right now I'm 33, I'm still young, but I'm still getting up there. Like, years are going by. So while I might still be young, a lot of these players are 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, and still in their 20s. Like, at this point, all I can do, the last step, is try to win like a big major or something like that, and that would be it for me. Like, that's all I want at the end. But am I chasing that super hard? Yeah, I want to win, but like, that's it. You feel me? Like, after that, like, I done accomplished everything else that I wanted to accomplish. I've been traveling for years. I've been traveling since I was 17, 18, bro. So at this point, this is just kind of like end game for me. I'm just trying to like finish the story. And I would have to put in a lot of work to do that. I'm trying to put in that work, but that's why it's like nobody can take my shine. And you got to understand, some people are going to hate on you. You're going to have haters. You're going to have people like talking shit on you, all that shit. All of that shit literally goes over my head. I'm too old for that shit. I'm not going to beef with you. I'm not going to talk back to you. I'm not going to do none of that shit. I'll just eliminate you. Like, we're not even going to talk about it. I'm going to just eliminate you from my whole energy, my whole life, point blank, period. That's how I move. When you get older, you move like that. You don't bicker on Twitter and go back and forth with somebody that you know you right. How am I going to go back and forth with you and I know I'm right? That don't even make sense. Think about that, Chad. Are you going to go back and forth with somebody you know you right? No. I'm not even going to talk to you anymore. I'm just like, okay, bet. I'm not about to go back and forth with you. But younger people want to argue. Even older people want to argue. It's a lot of older people that want to argue too, but young people love arguing shit. And I'm talking about young. When I talk about young, I'm talking about like 18, 19. Like, a lot of people like to argue. And I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. The way I move in life, I'm not going to argue with you, bro. If you feel like you right, you right. Did I not just leave that other Discord? Yeah, I left because I know I'm right. You done disrespected me. If you disrespect me, I'm out. I'm good. I'm Gucci. We ain't even got to talk about it. Person be like, see you in bracket, bet. I'll see you in bracket, bet. What's good? I'll be in bracket. From a content point of view, I think you could corner the SNK top level English speaking players. A lot of people, like a lot of people follow my SNK content and they really like it. And they really like, they really support my SNK stuff. Just like they supported my Melty Blood. Like, I put a lot of love into Melty Blood. I put a lot of time into my Melty Blood content and a lot of people liked it. And now I just kind of like, I try to do what I want to do with content, right? So, like, if I feel like making a video on this, I'm going to make a video on this. If I feel like making a video on that, I'm going to make a video on that. Like, I really try to do what I want to do and talk about the topics that I want to talk about. Because it's very important to, like, just be very transparent and be very straightforward with your content or, like, the type of person you are. You know what you're going to get from me. Like, I'm very humble. I'm very supportive of the people that, I like. I'm very respectful. I'm going to always respect you. I'm never going to disrespect you unless you disrespect me. So I'm very respectful. And those are like the 3 things you're going to know about me off jump. And the 4th thing you're going to know about me off jump is I'm going to always speak my mind and I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. So, like, if somebody were to get upset or, like, they're like, bro, like, blah, 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 like, I'm going to tell you how it is. So, like, if you have an ego, I'm going to immediately bring that shit down. I'm going to immediately delete that shit. Like, it's going to be immediately deleted. Immediate. If you have an ego, because I'm an ego check you immediately. Like, the moment somebody got an ego, I'm an ego check you. The moment you got an ego, I'm an ego check you. Because if you start talking down to people and you thinking your skill level is so high, I'm going to immediately ego check you. I'm going to be like, bro, you a solid player at this game right here. This game. Stay in your lane. You're on this game. Just stay in your lane and press your buttons. Have fun, bro. But, like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. You see what I mean? Like, you check them right there to let them know we're not going to do that. Because if we do that, I'm going to hurt your feelings on this shit. I'm going to keep it all in game, baby. But I'm going to hurt your feelings on this shit because you and me, no. We're not going to do that. That's when you have to ego check. You only ego check somebody when that ego just is popping like it's big. That's when you have to ego check people. You don't have to do it often, but some people you just have to do it because they haven't been checked yet. What's up, Jim? We're watching a video right now. Um, I was on earlier, but I was just labbing for my stream, showing them some matchup stuff. But yes, I have been playing a lot of Samurai Showdown. I got some good training partners. I've been having a lot of fun with the game. It's a really good game. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, that's the main thing to get people in trouble is that ego. Sometimes you gotta check that shit. You gotta check it. Because if you can't fall back and understand where you have made the mistakes or where you are incorrect, if you can't do that, if it always has to be somebody else or someone like you're just blaming somebody else, then that's a problem. That's always a problem, and you have to low profile. I'm gonna have to lab that and see does that work. That was crazy. Um, or did he do that on accident? I need to see it again. But you play Charlotte, but looking for a switch. Yeah, Charlotte is very solid. Charlotte is definitely Charlotte. I actually like the way Charlotte plays. The only thing that I dislike, I would say, or like the risk of Charlotte, is she's so swingy that she's just susceptible to deflect. So you have to play around with her like kicks a lot, which her kicks are really good. And yeah, she's honest, but she's honest for like, for example, like how Maru is honest, right? But how Maru is definitely better than Charlotte. And I feel like Charlotte is like, she's honest, but she's very swingy. And what I mean by swingy, she relies heavily on stand light, well, stand A, crouch A, stand B, crouch B. Like heavily. And she does no throw damage. Her throw is really bad. Her heavies are really bad. So she has like some weaknesses in areas. Her DP is alright. It does arc straight up. But it's like you can get that same value in Maru. You feel me? But the difference is her jump is low. And that low jump is good. That was really good. He did that too slow? That was unfortunate. He would have got so much damage right there. But the good things about Charlotte, she does do good in this matchup. she does pretty good in this matchup. Got to keep him out the air. Oh, this is the finals. Okay. Jubei versus Yoshi. Jubei really doesn't have a good anti-air outside of going air to air, or he can parry. He can parry Yoshi's jump in, which is really good. But yeah, you see him going air to air. That's gonna be how he's gonna knock him out the air. Does Samsho have any clear top tier characters? I'm not familiar with the game. Yes, Baiken is arguably the best character in the game. Hibiki is also another top tier in the game. Those are like two of the most common top tier characters in the game that when you like talk about the game, you're gonna hear people talk about like Hibiki and Baiken. Specifically Baiken, you're gonna hear a lot about Baiken being like the best character in the game. And Hibiki, she has an 8-frame special move. An 8-frame special move slash that goes mad far, so she can reversal punish shit that she shouldn't be able to reversal punish. That most characters cannot. So her reversal game is like really good. She's just a very, very good defensive character, and she can apply some very good offense. She has a very good dash attack. Her and Baiken have very good dash attacks that do a lot of damage. Holy shit. He did all of his moves. So when Yoshi does all of his moves, he actually has a huge fireball like that. When he does all of his moves, he has to do all of them to unlock that. Yoshi's biggest thing is his normals. Jubei has some of the best normals in the game. Like that stand B Jubei is doing can just cancel into uppercut immediately from like a pretty decent range, and he has one of the best universal overheads in the game. Like, just really good spacing. I think it used to knock down back in the older versions of the game, but the version I'm playing, it doesn't knock down. Yeah, that was bound to happen. Bomb, 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 bomb. Okay. They got a 1-1 going on right now. I like watching tournaments from different regions, just learning. Like, I'm big on that, watching like videos and just learning and dissecting information. Have y'all tried out the new character in Tekken, Marizo? She's really fun. I tried her out like the other day. She's like pretty fun. That's a big punish. What song is this? From the bouncer. People love throwing out that slash when he's in rage. Oh, he is. Yup, bomb, bomb. Oh, he dropped a combo. That was big. Man is in trouble. Damn, he just ran up and did it. See, I never got to play that game, Nev, which is very unfortunate. I never got to play that shit. And I always wanted it. Oh, that was a bait. That was so cheap. He baited him to throw by empty jumping in. Nice. What you gonna do with it though? Oh, what a 5K anti-air. Yeah, I mean, see, Jubei doesn't want to commit. Because if he commits the counter to try to counter that jumping and he doesn't happen to jump in, you're dead. You can't commit to that. That was smart. Jubei can't throw fireballs anymore. Damn, he hit for running forward. Yeah, it looked a lot of fun. Oh, what a running C. Oh, that was a nice little anti-air. Nice overhead. It's hard to see that one. It's like really fast. Yep. Oh, I can't believe he delayed through right there. That's a big jump in. Damn, he dropped the combo again. Or damn, I can't believe he delayed through again. The Yoshi Tora definitely would have had to have better. Yeah, that's the end of the video. The Yoshi Tora would have definitely had to have better anti-airs in the corner for sure. All right, chat. I think I'm gonna call it right there. That was a good little talk session. I've been doing a lot of those little talk sessions here lately on stream. It's just good to get it out, and it's good for people to listen to a different perspective of things that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And I think that those help the community, like especially when you could just talk it out, and people are just willing to listen and be like, "Oh, okay, I see your point." Because it's not about breaking a community; it's about building a community. And that's what people are, I swear, afraid of. People just want you to be toxic, and I ain't got time to be toxic. I'm just trying to build people up. See what I mean? So that's that. But let's see. I'm going to send y'all to my boy Psycho. Y'all go show Psycho some love, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.